bit of blue, and there's a few clouds drifting around the skyscrapers opposite in Canary Wharf that just sort of got cloud wisping around the tops of them, and a lot of Christmas lights around last night, weren't there?
There was indeed.
Very, very
yes,
picturesque.
it was indeed.
And what we were musing on, I wonder when they put them up. What time of day do they put them up? Where do they mysteriously appear?
I know, it's
Christmas
interesting,
lights,
isn't it? Because it's a fantastic display.
You know, one day they're not there, the next day they're there.
I know.
It was very nice, very warming. Very warming on this
Of course,
bitterly
we'll
cold
find the right one for your
December
car
afternoon.
and fit it for you. And we're never beaten on price.
You know, in between, so I'm still me, but I'm trying to be a bit more serious as well. And I thought, bollocks, just let the passion come out and just do what you want and say what you want and be who you want and just be yourself. And that's what it's all about, enjoying yourself, being yourself. If people didn't like it, didn't watch it. That's what I got a few haters on in the early days. We got rid of them because obviously they didn't like the channel. And you know, end of the day, I don't dislike them. It's their own choice. I am like Marmite. You either like us or you don't. And it's life, isn't it? Everyone's the same. And that's basically, that's how it's grown over the years. And I met some absolutely fantastic people out there. And I got you absolutely fantastic legend subscribers as well who come on and watch this daft old fool every week. So back on the channel, we've got Susan Beaumont. Terry, you are colder than Canada. We have snow, but it's +2. Oh, +2 in Canada. Nice one. Lucky till I die. If nobody wins except us around, we could go 7th. That's all right. Clasper, fingers crossed, can finally get a result watching in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Oh, Ulaanbaatar. That's another place. How are the lads? What is the capital of Mongolia again? I'm forgetting that one. Capital of Mongolia. I used to know all the capitals as a kid. I learned all the capitals from the whole of the world at one point. Like Bolivia, capital of Bolivia is La Paz. I always remember that one. Capital of Bolivia is La Paz. And then you got the likes of, you know, New Zealand's Wellington, and so on and so forth. Right, we got Michael Then. My friend has been a Sunderland fan since 1983 when Marco Gabbiadini played Roker Park. Now, if I missed his name, what was his name, Michael? Anyway, Michael Thames' friend. Happy 50th birthday, mate. Have a great 50th birthday. I remember in the olden days what 50th birthday was like. I had mine in lockdown. Right, you know, coming out of lockdown. Ooh, Sunderland substitutes. We've got Bishop, Job, Roberts, Pritchard, Hamir, Dak, Triantos, Mienda and Taylor. Back on the chat. Hello, the Mac and Cabby. Enjoy the game, Mac and Cabby. And you enjoy the game too, Mr. Mac and Cabby. David Jones. The first ever video I saw was when you was after the Cabby. David Jones. The first ever video I saw was when you was after the
Testing.
Pitch and yeah, like I said, everyone to our man needs to kind of dig in now and recover and go again on the weekend.
Can you sense that frustration on the pitch during the game?
Testing.
The crowd, you could feel towards the end of the first half they were starting to turn a little.
Testing.
I think even you as players, you know, Luke's trying to bring the ball out from defence and not sure where to go with it.
I mean, I think it's not the harm in trying. It's kind of the execution. When you've got so many men behind the ball, you've got, you know, show options, but there's only so much you can do, and sometimes it's really hard to break them down, and that's what they've come here to do. And it shows obviously in ourselves that obviously teams come here to do that. So but we've got to find ways to do it, to be a top team, to be up there right at the end. We've got to find ways of breaking down defences like that. And yeah, tonight we wasn't at it at all. And, you know, we've got to, you know, look at it and learn from it, and you know, take it to the next game, and that's all we can do.
Do you think you're better playing better teams, or I mean, when I say better teams, you know, Plymouth and Huddersfield 19th and 21st. Are you better playing teams in the top 6, 7?
If we play really bad today and we get beat 3-0, do you think it's Mowbray's last game, or do you think we should at least give them until January, February to see if we can turn it around?
Whereas, you're getting 2-3 men out there, and it is difficult at times. And then when you maybe put it in, there's still 3 bodies in the box, just head it away, and it can be difficult, and it can be slightly a bit easier against other teams. But then they've also got the quality, so if you're not putting it away, then you've got to be solid at the back, and so they can damage you with. But we've got to be a team that a lot of teams fear, and we have to show that we can score goals and keep them out as well. So like I said, all aspects need to kind of come together as a team, and we'll work on that together. And it's we win together, we lose together, and we can only learn.
Total Sport North East.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
Just been going through the Millwall team on the big screen opposite. They're all stood, the players in their profile pictures, in their short sleeve shirts, big smiles on their faces. I bet they didn't take those pictures in the middle of winter. Always enjoy talking to Patrick Roberts. He doesn't hold. He's a good talker, good to interview, but he'll be disappointed not to start.
He'll be disappointed. I think he touched on a good point when you talk about young players. And again, you're thinking about what experiences have they been through, especially when you've been losing. You're on a bad run at the present moment. Who do you look for? Who do you look to? You usually go to your experienced players because they've mostly been through it. Now, 1 or 2 of these young players haven't been through that process. And that's why, you look at Tony Mowbray, and he's trying to find that solution in regards of a winning solution, somebody to put the ball in the back of the net. But for me, it doesn't help if you keep changing the team every single game, because you don't build that relationship up.
Sheesh starts again today.
Yeah.
Many people are saying, well, why isn't Pritchard starting games? And I thought, if you're going to make those changes, today's game may well have been ideal for Pritchard to start in that 10 role. It does sort of beg the question again. I think we're going back to where we were in the summer, that they want to move him on, don't they?
If they want to move him on, he shouldn't be on the bench. Why you got him on the bench for? If you've got him on the bench, surely there's going to come a point where you're going to be using him. And we said that on Wednesday night. I think, if we could have brought him on in 5-10 minutes into the second half, he would have given us something different. He likes to link up play. But, if you're not going to play him, if he's just making up the numbers, I just think that, okay, they've tried to move him on. Most of them didn't want to move. But then he shouldn't be on the bench then. If you're not going to use him, don't have him in the squad.
It's a curious one. I'll have to speak to Tony Mowbray about that issue.
It's about winning games.
Yeah.
Nick, this happens at every football club. You will have managers, coaches, players who fall out. Players fall out with players fall out with coaches, they fall out with managers. But at the end of the day, if that player can help you win games, you're going to play him. Simple as that. You shouldn't hold it against him.
Millwall have got their own problems. Joe Edwards came in 4 games ago. This is his 4th. He won the first one 4-0 at Sheffield Wednesday, but then lost here 3-0 to Millwall. And in the week, apparently, Millwall pretty much didn't turn up against Ipswich. They're 3-0 down before they knew it. 37 years old. He's coached Chelsea's under-18s, Chelsea's under-23s. He's been assistant manager at Chelsea. He's been assistant manager at Everton last season. And in the last few months, interim manager of England's under-20s, appointed on November the 6th. Highly thought of, speaks very, very well, but again, an illustration of teams going down this route of young, inspirational coaches. But you do wonder sometimes, do you need a sort of Tony Mowbray figure with that experience?
Well, again, you look at Tony Mowbray, and you look at all the clubs he's coached, they all do well. But then it comes a point somewhere along the line where what you think now is that teams know how Sunderland play. They know what Tony Mowbray's teams are all about. Yes, they like to pass the ball, but what we're missing that creativity, we're missing that sparkle that player who can get on the end of things, gives us something different. You look at the team, stop Clark, then he cut off 50% of Sunderland, shall we say, attacking play. And teams are doing that. Now, what we'll say today is Millwall, Sunderland. First thing what jumps out at you, and we've seen it before, is the lad Cooper. The lad Cooper is a very, very big lad.
6'6".
And we know when he played at Stadium Light, he caused us problems. Teams know what Sunderland's weaknesses are. Set plays, he's going to cause us problems. But for that, you can't have the likes of Huggins picking up Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's gonna most probably aim for the likes of Cooper. So I would say you best have somebody like maybe Ballard or maybe Burstow's gonna come back and obviously compete with him.
Ballard, of course, who had a season-long loan here from Arsenal. He'll know the Den very well. A lot of scouts here again, I've noticed, sort of sitting in the seats down below us. There have been a lot at games recently. We're coming up to January. The vultures will be hovering.
They will be hovering. You know, we've got some very good young players. You know, and obviously Jack Clark jumps out at you. And I think, you know, what we've seen on Wednesday, and you look at Jack Clark's body language, he was saying, what more do you want me to do? What more can I do? You know, there's only so many times you can give him the ball. There's only so many times he can try to get past his fullback and create things. There's going to come a point where he's thinking, hold on, give me a breather, give me a chance. And then when it doesn't happen, all of a sudden you start hearing, oh, Jack Clark didn't do this, Jack Clark didn't do that. But you can't expect Jack Clark every single game to score or create. You know, there's another 10 players in the team. And that's what we need. We need more from other players in the team. You know, unfortunately, Roberts has suffered. So he's come out. So what you're doing then is, okay, Bar, you've got to do something. Okay, if he's not doing something, can we get something from the middle of the park? Can we get a Neil? Can we get Ekwa who's going to get on the ball and start dominating games and controlling games and creating things from the middle of the park? That's what you need.
London's calling, so is Fawcett Street. Let's hear some more from Tony Mowbray.
You said on Wednesday night, you were disappointed with the energy levels, disappointed overall. Spoke to Patrick Roberts afterwards, and he said, the players have a responsibility as well when they're out on the pitch, and he says, it's up to him and others to up their game, if you like, to going into the weekend.
So we had a long chat after the game. As a coach, you don't generally, it's not a normal thing every game, but there's certain times when you need to.
Be back in a second, guys. I'm just helping the wife put one of our beds into her car because she's fixing it at her sister's and putting it up. I'm here. I'll be just 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
We all sat down in that dressing room, and I opened the floor, really, the players, and we have to get to the bottom of, it's because I genuinely think, and I know it's not at our football club something that they want to hear a lot, but there's an inexperience about this group of players, how to get up for the games, and recognition of the games we have to win. They have to be your cup finals, and Huddersfield Town at home is a game we have to win, because we have got Millwall away coming, and then we have got West Brom who are flying and Leeds who are flying, and it's like, come on. So Huddersfield at home, with total respect to Huddersfield, it has to be your cup final. And yet an inexperienced player might look at it and think, Huddersfield at home, go out and pass the ball around, we'll be fine, easy. And yet the clock ticks away in the game and they score, and all of a sudden, you're trying to react, and it's like, so we had a long heart-to-heart really about, because life's difficult. Never mind football, life is difficult. About until you've experienced life, you don't really know. You think you know, but you don't really know. And get across how important these nights are. We're playing, okay, it's cold, freezing, Wednesday night. It might not be 40-odd thousand. It might be 35, 36, and they might not be full of adrenaline because it's Huddersfield at home, it's freezing cold. You have to make that into your one game of a year sort of thing, really. And I felt we struggled to get that. Listen, I have to put some the blame on myself. I as you can hear in my voice now, I'm still not fully. I'd had a bad few days, really. I'd been in my bed for 2 days. It was really difficult to get that urgency across to them. And yet I felt, when I sat and watched the first 10, 15 minutes of the game, come on, lads, come on, I can feel it. I can see what's going to happen. I've done it 100 times and know what you need to do, and trying to transmit. That's what my job is, to trying to inspire young guys to perform above their level, the level that they think they don't need to get to. And we just fell a bit short on the night, which is why I was disappointed, because 74%, 76% possession, 27 shots, generally it's enough to win the match, yeah? But I just felt on the evening there was something not quite right, really. And then here we go, game 3 of a losing game, because the first game in that sequence of Plymouth away again was huge possession, huge number of shots, and lost 2-0. It's a collective thing. It's all of us. I'm very conscious. I'm saying, and I think if you've got a number 9 on the back of your shirt and you play up front and you have to score goals, you should feel the pressure of the burden. But as the coach, I don't really want to burden these young lads coming to Sunderland, this massive football club with this massive expectation of you have to score. We hope they score. We hope they enjoy their journey in the team and the club, and the fans sing a song. And Diallo did that for us last year. He came from nowhere, just at one of a few young foreign lads who we'd signed, and turned into a hero. And the opportunity's there for them if they want to grasp it, and trying to get that across to them is what's my role, really. Whether it happens, we have to wait and see. But the burden, the collective burden of scoring the goals, has got to be for the whole team. Danny Ballard's missed some real clear chances in front of goal in the last couple of games. 3 headers 6 yards out that he's skimmed and gone past the post rather than just bulleting in the net. It doesn't matter who scores them. We have to put the domination on the pitch, the possession on the pitch, the control of the game into victories. And if we weren't doing that, we were scrambling. I've played in football teams in the past as a young footballer where you went 1-0 down, it was finished. You were thinking, let's not lose 3 or 4. You weren't thinking, we'll score, we'll win. You were thinking, I've been there. This team, I believe they should always believe we're going to, even if we concede, we can score, we are going to win. And I think once we get that belief, and we are trying to drill it into them, the concoction of it all, we've still got some players in this team who don't really understand English and don't understand and speak and feel that emotion that I try to give to footballers. It's difficult if you don't understand what the gaffer's saying. And then you've got the British lads on one side who are going, do they care? And I'm thinking, listen, they care, mate. They care. These are young footballers who are here with a dream. Playing in English football, they're playing for a massive club. They are desperate to do well. It's just how we transmit it all together, really. And listen, we don't like getting beat, and I know the fans don't like getting beat. We are doing our very, very best with the group we've got, and they are all conscious. So we've had this chat, this collective chat. 9 said to me yesterday, Gaffer, it's sorted. We've had the internal, because I've come from the dressing room. That's where I lived 18 years, in the dressing room, and you don't need the gaffer. You sort it out yourself. The players have to sort it out, and there isn't a lot of natural leadership in that dressing room. Luke said to me yesterday, Gaffer, 10 game unbeaten now, it's sorted, don't worry. So I'll hold him to that tomorrow.
Total Sport Northeast.
Nick Barnes and Gary Bennett, MBE.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
Well, just waiting for the teams. They're in the tunnel. I have to mention James Stott this afternoon, 80 years old. He's a season card holder, and on Wednesday night, when he left the Stadium of Light, he had quite a bad fall. I've been asked if we can please mention everyone that assisted when he fell, from complete strangers to medical staff, and they helped James, and then his family arrived. He spent from 11 until 9 the next morning getting scans and x-rays. fortunately, everything's come back okay, apart from a small fracture in his nose and two very big black eyes. And the family like to say they're very, very grateful for all the help given to James. And hopefully, James, you're listening this afternoon. It's been remarked that it's taken you 80 years to get a broken nose and black eyes, all for the love of Sunderland Football Club. And I understand you're recovering well, but a big thank you to everybody who helped you. James Stott, I hope you have a good afternoon. I hope everything's progressing well. That's the best wishes from both of us.
Yeah, definitely so. And again, I think we need to mention George Foster.
Yeah, George Forster. I'll give him a mention again shortly. He's not so well, but hopefully this afternoon he's tucked up nice and warm and will be listening to the game. The players are out. They're doing the familiar walk of handshakes along the halfway line. Sunderland will be in their red and white stripes, black shorts, red socks, and Millwall in their dark blue, white shorts and dark blue socks as well. As the players probably reluctantly peel off their tracksuits tops this afternoon. The temperature here in London is apparently 1 degree Celsius. I understand it's probably -2 degrees in the northeast, but so this is positively Caribbean this afternoon. So Sunderland, Patterson in goal, Hume, Ballard, O'Nien and Huggins. Watching them actually warming up, I think O'Nien might be on the right and Ballard on the left. Neil, Ekwa, Barr, Aushish, Clark and Burstow. The bench for Sunderland is Bishop, Jobe, Roberts, Pritchard, Emir, Dack, Triantis, Mienda and Taylor. Millwall, Bielkowski in goal. Back four of Ryan Leonard, Wes Harding, Jake Cooper, 6'6", Jake Cooper, and Murray Wallace. Sitting in front of the back four, George Saville and Billy Mitchell. Across the middle then, Brooke Norton-Coffey, who's on loan from Arsenal, 19 years old. Zian Fleming, the Dutchman, and George Honeyman, who needs no introduction. And up front, Kevin Nisbet, the striker they signed from Hibs in the summer, who scored at Ipswich in the week. So that's the two lineups. Sunderland at the moment defending the end to our left, which there's meant to be around 3,000 Sunderland fans here today, but there are rail problems, and I think there are a number who must have been caught up in that because it's nowhere near 3,000 at the moment.
I think a few of them will come
Here we go again. Toon, haha, oi oi, good luck. Cheers to Geordie Streamer. How you doing? Yes, you've got a big game coming up.
Today with all the problems on the railways, and referee James Linnington is in a yellow top this afternoon. He was in charge last of a Sunderland game at the beginning of the season at Preston. Gave a penalty in that game, of course, and just strolling about the centre circle, keeping an eye on his assistants. Millwall are going to get the game underway this afternoon. Zian Fleming, the Dutchman, signed a year ago, waits to get things underway. George Honeyman to his left, and nobody will be wanting to stand around this afternoon unnecessarily as the referee blows. We're underway, and it's Millwall with Murray Wallace lifting one up from his own half down the right wing and trying to find on that far side Nisbet, but it's gone out for a throw to Millwall halfway inside the Sunderland half.
A long throw.
Looks like, yeah, and Jake Cooper, surprise, surprise, has gone up into the Sunderland penalty area, towering above Luke O'Nien at the moment. The ball, though, thrown to the corner of the penalty area. Cooper trying to get involved. Huggins gets a foot underneath it. Clark hooks it on, but it'll come back up onto the halfway line, and Wes Harding will play it back to Bartosz Bielkowski, the Polish goalkeeper, signed 3 years ago from Millwall in his turquoise goalkeeping outfit this afternoon. Anthony Patterson's in yellow away to our left, and a free kick for a foul on Huggins by Fleming, and this just inside the Sunderland half, taken by Huggins, back to Ballard, who indeed is playing on the left hand side. O'Nien's on the right, back to O'Nien here, and O'Nien to Hume down the touchline to Barr in front of Tony Mowbray down below us, and Barr turns, flicks it back to Hume, down the line again, a push on the back of Barr, the ball out, it's a throw to Sunderland. Burnley 1, Sheffield United 0 in the Premier League. Double bill, of course, on Radio Newcastle. We have got an 8 o'clock kick-off tonight, and that is Newcastle against Manchester United. 0-0 here at the Den, as it's now known, rather than the New Den, because they've been here so long.
It's not the New Den anymore.
No, it's now it's the Den. I'm not sure how veteran supporters of Millwall feel about that, but that's what it is. As the ball here with Huggins making a run down the left, but it's cleared on the far side by Leonard, and up to the halfway line. Equa now has found Hume, out to Huggins, down the touchline to Clark, trying to get round Ryan Leonard. Clark still going, Leonard on his shoulder. Clark, well, his cross is deflected behind. It's a corner to Sunderland.
Excellent run by Clark.
Held off Ryan Leonard, experienced defender. Swansea 0, Huddersfield 1. Clark will take the corner then. The Cold Blow Lane end of the Den. You can hear the Sunderland fans away to our left. They may not all be here. There's a few more has arrived though, and they're making a noise. And Clark short to Hume, back behind him, and then eventually into the box. But he's Al-Shish behind him. Sorry, he put the ball in the box, but it's cleared up to the halfway line. Huggins out to Al-Shish on that left-hand side, and down the line again to Clark. Clark now trying to take on Leonard. Leonard makes a block this time, and then Clark's all over Leonard, and a free kick to Millwall. Leeds 0, Middlesbrough 1. 0-0 here at the Den in the 4th minute of the game. Goalkeeper Bartosz Bielkowski will take the free kick just outside his penalty area on the right-hand side. I hope Patterson's got his thermals on. Bielkowski with the kick down the right-hand side, flicked on by Brooke Norton-Cuffy, on loan from Arsenal, 19-year-old. Quite impressive, I'm told. He's previously been on loan at Coventry last season.
Yeah, he was on at
Lincoln, remember him at Coventry.
He's playing further forward today.
Right. He was previous as a right wing back, but they're playing a back 4 this afternoon. Millwall, so he's playing right-sided midfield. Here's Murray Wallace back to the goalkeeper, edge of his area. Burstow goes to close him down. The ball is swung out to George Honeyman on the wing. He plays it back behind him to Wallace. Wallace looking here for Fleming, who's tried to get the ball around Dan Neil. It's won now by Ballard. Runs away from Fleming to Huggins. Huggins closed down by Norton. Cuffy plays it back to Patterson, who kicks this out down the right wing. Hume inside to Neil, who tried to get it down the right to Barr. Tony Mowbray felt Barr was impeded. Referee didn't. It's a throw to Sunderland, which Hume will take right in front of Tony Mowbray. Played inside to Neil, nearly caught by Honeyman, but the ball comes back to Ballard, just behind the halfway line. Out to the left wing, Huggins and Clark. Al-Shish back to Huggins. Huggins now behind him, Equa. Equa's swinging this out to the right, looking for Barr.
Great pass. And
a lovely ball drops straight at his feet. And Barr trying to get it past Honeyman. The block, though, sees the ball back in Millwall's possession. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Blackburn 0. Fleming out to Leonard on the right, back to Wes Harding. Harding now forwards, looking for Norton Cuffy. Cut out by Huggins in the middle of the Millwall half. Back behind him, Neil. Lays it off to Equa. And Equa down the line to Al-Shish. Al-Shish, his cross blocked by Murray Wallace. Up to Fleming in the centre circle. Looking to play it over the top for Nisbet.
He looks offside.
He's offside. He didn't just look offside, he is offside.
Thank you.
1-1 at Leeds. Leeds 1, Middlesbrough 1. And free kick, which will be taken by Dan Ballard, just outside the Sunderland penalty area in the 7th minute. Millwall 0, Sunderland 0. And O'Nien swings a great ball down the left wing for Clark to chase deep into the Millwall half. Leonard goes to close him down, puts a foot out to it, knocks it away from Clark, and now then just gets caught by Clark, or does he? The referee's allowed play to go on, and the ball is cleared to halfway where O'Nien nods it down to Equa. Equa plays it here to Hume at the front of the centre circle and out wide to Barr. Barr trying to come in past Murray Wallace, who just blocks him. Barr, well, he'll appeal to the referee, but he's got to get to his feet and get back here because Honeyman's on the break. Up to halfway, lays it off to Mitchell, back to Wes Harding, closed down by Burstow. Harding's just skipped away from him, through here and played back to Harding from Nisbet, but now won by Equa. Equa to Neil, a little flick, nice little flick to Aushish. Aushish down the left wing here to Clark. Clark now as Millwall come rushing back to try and defend this, and Leonard gets in front of Clark again. Clark's penalised. Free kick on the right side of the penalty area. It's going to be a right battle between those two, I think.
Excellent defending by Leonard. He's done that a couple of times now. Defended very, very well against Clark.
Arsenal 1, Wolves 0. Leeds 2, Middlesbrough 1. 8th minute here, Millwall 0, Sunderland 0. And the free kick will be taken by the goalkeeper Bartosz Bielkowski, 36 years old now. He got one cap for Poland back in 2018 in a friendly against Nigeria. Nisbet trying to get the ball inside to Fleming, but knocked away by Neil. Back to Wes Harding, Jamaican international, and back to Jake Cooper. And he swings it out wide to Norton Cuffey on the touchline just inside the Sunderland half. Comes back to Ryan Leonard, and Leonard will play it back to Bielkowski. Ipswich 1, Coventry 0. The ball swung again wide, looking for Norton Cuffey, headed away by Huggins, straight to Billy Mitchell. Mitchell down the right wing, Norton Cuffey running onto this, it's swept past Huggins. Norton Cuffey, edge of the penalty area, onto his left foot. Down goes Patterson at the near post and makes the save. The ball swung in there by Norton Cuffey. It's out quickly, nobody's hanging around this afternoon in these temperatures. Aushish up to the halfway line, down the left again to Jack Clark. Clark trying to find the run of Burstow. Burstow with Barr coming into the penalty area. Burstow onto his right foot, plays it back to Aushish. Aushish now at the corner of the penalty area just outside. Swings the ball in, looking for Dan Neil. Headed away, though, inside the box by George Saville. And now up to Equa. And Huggins back to Ballard. And Ballard across to Luke O'Nien here. 0-0 in the 10th minute. Barr on the right-hand side. Back to Luke O'Nien. O'Nien on the halfway line. Down the right, Barr back to Trey Hume. Just inside the Sunderland half, forwards to Neil again, back to Hume, and Hume forwards to Equa, right side of midfield. Looks to lift it through for Burstow, headed away by Cooper to Mitchell, trying to win it Aushish. It comes back to Cooper, who can't quite clear it. Burstow got a touch, drops for Barr on the right. Oh, he pushes it past Murray Wallace, who blocks it. It is a foul on the edge of the penalty area on the right-hand side.
Excellent play by Barr. Good position.
Yep, big shout out to George Forster. Not sure he was listening before 3 o'clock. Hopefully he's listening now. Well. Hopefully he's snug and warm this afternoon listening to this on BBC Radio Newcastle. Wrapped up, George. It's 0-0. It's a free kick to Sunderland at the Cold Blow lane, and how appropriate is that?
Cold Blow
this afternoon.
It's living up to its name.
Very much. Bolton 1, Harrogate 0 in the FA Cup, the third round draw tomorrow lunchtime. Aushish will take this free kick on the right-hand side.
Still do the audio.
He plays it to Neil. Neil tries to float it into the top corner, just over the bar. Wasn't the worst effort in the world. I suspect Bielkowski had his eye on it. 11th minute into the 12th minute now, 0-0. Bielkowski under pressure from Burstow, plays it out to Harding on the right, through to Nisbet. He's given it away to Dan Neil. Neil to Burstow, whipped off his feet by Cooper. Cooper out to Honeyman on the left wing here, but Hume's going to beat him to it. holds off Honeyman, it runs out for a throw to Sunderland. Hume takes the throw quickly, back to Luke O'Nien at the edge of the Sunderland penalty area. And O'Nien pausing with it for the moment, then suddenly with his right foot swings it across. A lovely ball to Jack Clark down that touchline. Leonard comes to close him down. Clark now trying to take it inside him, and he does. Clark is into the box. Clark's still going, but it's blocked by George Saville. It comes out to Norton Cuffy, and Norton Cuffy now looking to try and come past Huggins. Huggins, and now also O'Nien cutting across, and Huggins gets back to get the ball back to Ballard, and Ballard back to Patterson. Patterson closed down Nisbet. Hull 0, Watford 1. It's with Ballard back to Patterson at the edge of his 6-yard box, and out to Ballard again at the corner of the penalty area on the left-hand side. 13th minute, live on BBC Radio Newcastle. Ashish back to Ballard, now to O'Nien, and O'Nien through the middle. It's got Hume calling for it on the right-hand side here, up towards halfway. Honeyman in front of him. Hume cuts inside, now back towards the right wing. Barr, and Barr trying to cut in past Wallace, and Honeyman makes a tackle. He caught Barr, play goes on, and the ball is swept across to Clark on the left wing. Clark now, Huggins in support. He's played it down the left of the penalty area to Ashish. Harding's on his shoulder, and the ball just kept in the corner, and Huggins comes away with it and plays it back behind him to Clark. Still wide, puts in a cross, looking for Burstow, headed out by Cooper, back into the box, hooked away by Mitchell. It's going to bounce out to the touchline on the far side, and Jack Clark will play it back to Ballard. Southampton 1, Cardiff 0. Ballard to Hume, right side of the centre circle, to Neil. Neil now to Ashish. Ashish looking, twisting, turning, and then playing it through, looking for Barr. Just a little bit too harsh, the pass, and it sweeps through for a goal kick.
Don't know how you feel, Nick. It's quite an open game.
It's open, it's gone end to end.
End to end.
As I said before, I think the fact it's so cold means nobody's going to hang around. They're just going to keep going.
Keep warm.
Keep warm. So, goal kick for Bartosz Bielkowski. Everybody heading towards the right on halfway. Arsenal 2, Wolves 0. The ball up to halfway, just flicked on by Ryan Leonard. Norton Cuffy trying to get it, but Clark's whipped through with it, and now he tried to get it inside, but Norton Cuffy knocked it away, only to Dan Neil. Out to Huggins on the left-hand side. Huggins behind him is Ekwa. Ekwa back to Ballard. Ballard then squares it to Luke O'Nien in the centre circle, and he plays it out right here to Hume. Hume lifting it over the top for Burstow, but just over his head, and it drops back to the goalkeeper. Hull 1, Watford 1. And Bielkowski urging his players to push on, push up, drops the ball, kicks this up over the halfway line. Up goes Ballard, heads it forwards, over Ashish, comes back to Cooper, leaves it for Harding, back to Cooper, out to Leonard, twists it away, turns it away down the right wing. Ballard gets in front of Nisbet, plays it back to Anthony Patterson. Out to Dan Neil, back to Patterson. Patterson pauses a minute, then kicks up over the halfway line, looking for Hume. Up goes Wallace, heads it away, looking for Fleming, but Burstow gets there first. To O'Nien, now Dan Neil to Ekwa. Neil again, forwards to Hume. One back by Fleming, and here's a free kick for a foul by Hume on the edge of the centre circle.
Yeah, and this is going to be pumped into Cooper, isn't it?
Yeah, up he goes. See, he just makes that walk. It's the walk of Cooper. Cooper man. Strolling up through to join the attackers. Jake Cooper. He's on 4 yellow cards, so maybe a bit of caution. It's 19 games to cut off on. I think it might be. This is the 19th game. So Wallace floats this up. Up goes Cooper, gets his head on it, but Ekwa clears.
Go on, Barr.
Up towards Barr in the centre circle, and eventually Burstow behind him, and he's looking for Clark, but Bielkowski will come out and hammers this into the stand on the far side. 0-0. We're in the 17th minute. Live on BBC Radio Newcastle.
It's been a bright start by Sunderland.
It has. They've knocked it around sweetly. Yeah. They've looked to try and stretch Millwall as well. And here's Ballard at the back to Ekwa. Comes up to the halfway line on the left and wide, and he's switched it across to the right.
Great
looking
pass.
for Bar.
Excellent pass.
Offside.
Oh, you can't be offside from there, but you got to look along the line. It's a fantastic pass by Ekwa.
It was a lovely ball.
Can't be caught offside there.
Free kick then to Millwall. Cooper is going to take this across to Wes Harding, signed from Rotherham in the summer, and then put out for a throw to Millwall, the foot of the Dockers stand by Jack Clark. Throw halfway inside the Millwall half on the right-hand side. Southampton 2, Cardiff 0. Still waiting for the throw to be taken here. Leonard with it, now finally looks for Nisbet, and Huggins is trying to get in front of him. Nisbet gets it out to Wallace on this left-hand side. He's tried to thread it through to Fleming, which he's done. Huntington's out wide of him. Fleming's though paused and played it inside now to Saville, and Saville, the Northern Ireland international, gets it out eventually to Honeyman, back behind him to Wallace.
Well done,
Wallace
Bar.
is blocked by Bar. The throw to Millwall, halfway inside the Sunderland half on the left-hand side. 18 minutes played, 0-0. Millwall, who finished 8th last season, they're currently 19th this season. And here's George Honeyman back out to Wallace and down to Saville. It bounces off Aushish. Hume's trying to put a foot through
Sunderland
it.
ball, that.
Northern Ireland international teammate, but it's come out for Sunderland for the throw. And Hume will take this, still halfway inside the Sunderland half. Burstow is given away by Hume to Saville. Honeyman has tackled. The ball though falls for Wallace, and Wallace now trying to get past Neil, plays it behind him to Honeyman. He plays it back onto the halfway line to Harding in the middle, and now Mitchell looking to find Norton Cuffy, but passing it straight to Huggins in front of him, and Huggins now looking for Bar on this right hand side, but over his head and out for a Millwall throw. 19 minutes played, 0-0. Quickly taken by Wallace to Honeyman, back to Saville, blocked by Neil. They battle, they both go down together. The free kick's awarded to Millwall. Cooper will take this, drives it out to the right, looking for Norton Cuffy, headed by Huggins back to Patterson. Has to come out quickly. Norton Cuffy was making a sprint into the penalty area. It's rolled to Ballard. Sunderland in their red and white this afternoon. Ballard out to Huggins on the touchline, inside to Aushish. Huggins again, back again to Ballard. Now to O'Nien. 20 minutes played, still neither keeper's had a save to make yet.
No.
O'Nien to Neil in the centre circle, across to Huggins on the left-hand side. Huggins on the halfway line, looking for the run of Aushish or Burstow. Cooper and Harding come back. Cooper gets to it first, and touched by Aushish takes it out for a throw to Millwall. In fact, a throw to Sunderland. A few yards from the corner flag on the left. Left for Huggins, and the referee saying that you need to be taking this just a yard or two down to the corner flag. He's pushing him further and further down to the corner. The referee, James Linnington. Huggins with the throw then. He's needing someone to find Clark in the corner. Closed immediately down by Mitchell, but Clark gets the ball through to Burstow, back to Huggins, who lifts it in the air across the back of the penalty area, looking for Bar. Bar closed down by Honeyman and Wallace, but gets the ball behind him to Hume. And Hume now has to find a gap. And Sheesh, little back heel for Dan Neil with his left foot, drags it slightly, and it's easily scooped up by the goalkeeper.
Good move.
So still 0-0.
Good move, good flick. That's what you need. Good movement up front.
Guile. That's the word.
Guile. good word.
The ball out for another throw on the right for Millwall. We're halfway through the first half, or a quarter of the way through the match, and it's goalless at the moment. Here's Cooper, hooks one high in the air. It'll over to Honeyman on the left, and immediately closed down by Trey Hume. The ball comes back to Saville, but he loses it to Hume. Now Burstow in the middle, he's tackled. It drops for Murray Wallace. He plays it to Fleming, Saville, Harding, and now Leonard. They're all under pressure, so it comes back to the goalkeeper. He clears down the right, looking for Norton. Cuffey gets his head on it, looking for Nisbet, headed away by Ballard, but drops to the feet of Norton. Cuffey is fouled by Huggins, and a free kick just inside the Sunderland half for Millwall. Cardiff away next up for Millwall next weekend. Leonard's going to take the free kick on the far side, Ryan Leonard.
And the target will be Cooper.
Cooper's gone up, of course. Strolling up now on the shoulder of Huggins.
You know,
he just lifts his arm up as he goes up, walks in between Ballard and Huggins. To get little men, get out of my way. The ball's floated up, headed away by O'Nien. In the air from Mitchell, and now Norton Cuffey, hooked away by Ashish, but it's going to fall for Leonard. Barr is on his shoulder. Leonard gets it through to Saville, to Cooper now. He's in the centre circle, he's jogging back, and out to Murray Wallace. Murray Wallace into Billy Mitchell, and it's one foul by Burstow.
Yellow card.
It's going to be a yellow card for Burstow.
Yeah.
In the centre circle for the foul. Who's he brought down? Sived down.
Is it Mitchell?
Mitchell, I think. He's clutching his ankle at the minute. Yellow card though for Burstow. Treatment for the Millwall player on the floor. We're 24 minutes in. Live on BBC Radio Newcastle. We'll have the phone in, of course, Benno, between 5 and 6. I know you're looking forward to that tonight.
Oh, yeah. Lovely.
And between 6 and 7, you'll be able to hear a couple of BBC Radio Newcastle's podcast.
I hope they take into consideration the weather.
It'll prepare you for Fawcett Street. Anyway, we'll leave that there. You get a taste of the BBC Radio Newcastle podcasts between 6 and 7 tonight. There's a BBC Radio Newcastle Sunderland podcast. This week we spoke with Fans Forum member Nick Wiseman, myself and Colin White, so we'll be able to hear that this evening. And Razor and Colin spoke with Chris Woff of The Athletic for the Newcastle United podcast, and they'll both be on BBC Radio Newcastle for you to hear tonight between 6 and 7, little taster of our podcast, but normally they're on the BBC Sounds, so you can be able to catch up with them there as well. Then 7 o'clock we've got build up to the 8 o'clock kickoff at St James's Park, Newcastle against Manchester United. Plymouth 0, Stoke 1. We're about to resume here with a free kick for Millwall, which George Saville will take, signed from Middlesbrough 2 years ago. And the first of those two podcasts will be the Sunderland podcast following Benno's Christmas phone-in. Here's Honeyman on the left-hand side. He's going to be closed down by Ashish. He curls the ball in towards the far post, looking for Norton Cuffey. Huggins gets his head on it, and it's a first corner for Millwall. And sure enough, Cooper's up. At the moment in the D, the back of the area. Is he? No, he's not. He's yes, he is. He's just on the 18-yard line next to Wallace. And referee's having a word with him and Luke O'Nien.
Yeah, you've got to be careful here.
I think Saville's going to take the corner from the right. It's starting to get a little bit foggy. A little mist hanging in the air. In the 26th minute, there's a lot of movement here. Cooper's made a run, trying to get on the end of it. Ballard got it. Leonard puts it back in, and now Wallace has thrown himself at it, but the ball caught by Patterson. So they weathered that one. They threw everybody in there, Millwall, but Huggins comes away with it now on the left-hand side and inside to Ashish as they come up to the halfway line. And Ashish in the centre circle forwards to Burstow. Back to Ekwa. Ekwa now in the centre circle, out to the left wing, Huggins. And down the line to Clark. Back to Huggins and inside to Dan Neil, and Neil back to Dan Ballard. Forwards to Neil and down the touchline to Clark, and he's looking now to try and get Huggins through. Battles with Norton Cuffy, the ball rolls out, throw to Millwall. 0-0 in the 27th minute. This throw halfway inside the Millwall half on the right hand side. Leonard takes it, looks for Norton Cuffy, gets his head on it, a foot from Ballard, takes it inside to Luke O'Nien, he leaves it for Huggins. Huggins trying to come around Norton Cuffy, gets it forwards on the touchline to Clark, who managed to spin round Leonard, but Harding came across and cleared it back down the line for Millwall.
The Geordie stream of 3-0 Millwall. We'll soon see, yeah? How do you think it's going to be carrying the gameplay so far? Yeah, it's sort of... They don't look a threat at all, Millwall. Put it this way, they don't look at any threat. Eh? All right, Pat.
That's just inside the Millwall half. Sheesh making a run. Equa 2. Equa gets a foot to it, finds Huggins. Mitchell blocks him. Another throw to Sunderland, which Huggins will take. And again, just inside the Millwall half. Back onto the touchline and the halfway line to Clark. Plays it back into the middle to O'Nien. Across here to Hume. Honeyman in front of him. Plays it through, finds Burstow. Burstow now out wide to Barr. On the touchline, cutting back to Hume behind him. Hume back to O'Nien. And O'Nien now looking for a pass for Clark. Beautiful ball. Drop down on Clark's right foot. He's got away from Leonard. Inside now looking for Dan Neil, but it's a poor pass from Clark. Cut out by Saville. Left for Norton Cuffy. Aushish is on his shoulder and wins it back.
The Geordie stream or not, I think Sunderland are going to win 1-0. What do you think you'll do today then? I think is a favourite against Man U. I do. I think you'll turn them over.
Free kick pretty much in the middle of the Millwall half. 29th minute. Burnley 2, Sheffield United 0. Clark over the ball at the moment. Neil still on his knees, just slowly picking himself up. Sunlight glistening off the towers of Canary Wharf. Not really. So Sunderland's fans away to our left, all in good fettle. Now they've got here. Well, is he going to shoot? Is Aushish going to shoot from 40 yards? I doubt it.
No, he's got to play it.
He's going to play it. Loops it up here, headed out by Cooper. Drops for O'Nien, shot blocked. Now flag is up. And a free kick to Millwall. Hume. He's pointing at his outstretched arm, looking at the assistant. I'm not sure whether he was trying to say there was a handball in the penalty area, but it's a free kick to Millwall. Half an hour played, goalless. A stalemate between the two teams that desperately trying to break a run of 2 straight defeats. Millwall's case, a home defeat by Coventry and an away defeat by Ipswich. Flags up. Free kick to Sunderland. And
I hate Man U with a passion, Geordie streamer. Honestly, can't stand them. I can't stand them.
Just behind him. O'Nien drives it through the middle to Aushish. Now Aushish curls it round to Clark on the left touchline, taking on Leonard again. Leonard slips and falls. Clark still has it and trying to get onto his right foot, getting into the penalty area. He goes down right on the edge of the area, gets quickly to his feet again when the referee gives no free kick. And the ball comes back out eventually to Hume on halfway. He slips it inside to Ballard. The referee's blown now. What's happened here?
Hold on.
The referee's come back here. Ryan Leonard.
What's he doing?
The referee's come all the way back here and pulled out Harding and Clark. He's having a word with a pair of them, pointing a lot. James Linnington. And
what's he doing
Clark
now?
looks mystified. I think he's pulled it back for a free kick on the right side of the penalty
Free
area
kick for who?
where Clark went down for Millwall. Clark's mystified. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but it's a free kick to
he must have got
Millwall.
the call from the assistant on this side here.
Yeah, Bielkowski takes the free kick.
Yeah, I know the Derby days. The Derby days are cracking, aren't they?
Sheesh, was it?
He's not going to boot Clark
Yellow
for that.
card. Well,
He's
Clark
put his head down to head it,
yeah.
hasn't he? His head's a bit low.
The nerves and the anxiety and the tension of the Derby days, and the banter. The banter's brilliant. Banter's so funny.
I said at the start of the game, there's going to be a good old battle between those two at the moment.
Is anybody new on the chat? If you hit the subscribe button, thanks. Click that thumbs up. Can we get 20 likes before half time?
In the 33rd minute. 0-0. Free kick to Millwall. On the far side.
This is where we're going to concentrate, aren't we? You know where it's going to go. They'll want to
Cooper's
try to
up
get
there,
the second ball.
swung in
They'll try to get
towards
the second ball.
Cooper, and it's headed away by Ballard's, beating him in the air.
He'll come back in again.
And it's come to Mitchell on the left-hand side. He looks up and sweeps it back in again. Headed away again by Ballard.
Cheers for them subscribers. Thanks very much.
Sheesh leaves it for Hume, blocked by Leonard for a throw to Sunderland. .33 minutes played. Millwall 0, Sunderland 0.
I don't know. Absolutely, mate. I think the banter's hilarious.
Nearly caught by Fleming. Neil still has it, gets it to Hume, back inside to Neil, who's played it up towards Barr. Cooper gets ahead on it. It bounces for Ekwa to try and nod forwards, but straight to Mitchell. Sheesh tries to get it off the Millwall midfielder, and the referee has given a foul against Millwall.
This is what it's all about, isn't it, Nick?
What's your reactions and so far then, guys? What do you guys reckon so far of the match? I don't think Millwall are any threat at all, are they?
On the halfway line, inside to Dan Neil. Neil into Ballard. Ballard now bringing it towards halfway, then rolling.
And how do you think
Huggins on the left-hand side? Huggins trying to get it down the touchline, just overhits it. Leonard will run onto that for Millwall. Bolton 2, Harrogate 0 in the FA Cup. Here's Norton Cuffy over the head of Fleming, but it could be Nisbet who runs onto it. Nisbet into the penalty area on the right-hand side. O'Nien's got his arms round him. Nisbet turns him, trying to.
He cannot help himself, can he?
Area, pushes it out to Norton Cuffy. Huggins gets a foot on it. Throw to Millwall.
No, you won't get a better exciting match than the Toon and Sunderland. I still say it's the best derby in the whole of the United Kingdom, if not the world.
Strolling up into the penalty area. Jake Cooper on the shoulder of Dan Neil, trying to push him out the way. Now on the shoulder of Luke O'Nien, and Leonard in with the long throw, looking for Cooper, headed away by Huggins. Fleming heading it back in. O'Nien heading it out.
There's also a certain type of food that you can't mention, especially on Facebook, on YouTube. You get done if you mention it.
Gives it to Huggins in trying to steer it forwards, and Harding trying to tackle Huggins, but he gets it to Sheesh. And then he's Norton Cuffy. Sheesh is down, clutching his ankles. Norton
Yeah.
Right across the face of goal. And Millwall, I think it was Fleming who threw himself at it, but couldn't get contact. And now Sheesh is in trouble.
Yeah,
he's clutching his left ankle. He's waved for help.
I think he's getting a sample what Championship football's all about coming here.
Yeah.
No, somebody asked me what I had for tea once on Facebook, and I just replied and I says I actually had them, and I got a warning from Facebook because I mentioned that word. I was only describing what it said on the packet, what I had. It was Mr. Brain's pork, and there we go.
Hume comes back to him from Neil, and then Swept up by Hume to Barr.
Big shout to Donald Priest. How are you doing, Donald?
Leonard's run onto it and drives it from a long. Oh, that was 40 yards out. Patterson had a strike, but that was some strike, yeah. Driven with some velocity, it kept low and it was hard, but just past the post. Flash past Patterson, and it wasn't far wide. Patterson, I think, would have got a fingertip to it, but whoa, that was some hit.
Are we the only 0-0?
Still 0-0. O'Nien down the right.
In our division?
Hume pushing it
through.
Cooper puts it out to Saville. Saville back to the goalkeeper.
It is, mate. You're just having some noodles. Enjoy, Donald.
Closed down by Burstow and swept up through the middle. Ballard, and it slipped away from him to Norton Cuffey. And Norton Cuffey in the centre circle. Behind him is Cooper. Plays it on to Mitchell. Behind him is Harding. Harding trying to get away from Ashish. Runs into Clark, who just rolls it out into touch. It's a throw to Millwall. Len will take this on the halfway line, right-hand side. We're in the 38th minute. Live on BBC Radio Newcastle. And it's goalless.
No cheesy chips, Geordie.
On the touchline. Gives it straight to Huggins. Huggins back to Ballard. And back to Patterson.
Yeah, 3-1 Middlesbrough. They're losing 3-1 against Leeds.
Looking for Honeyman. Honeyman brings it down and flicks it out left here to Wallace. Wallace closed down by Barr. That surely went out. It's a throw to Sunderland, right in front of Tony Mowbray. Hume to take. Ashish just flicking it back to him. Hume then with the throw. It's right-hand side. Just inside the Sunderland half. Finds Burstow.
What's your thoughts so far then, lads? 38 minutes gone.
To Cooper inside on the halfway line to Mitchell. Behind him is Harding. Harding forwards to Norton Cuffey. Huggins on his shoulder. Norton Cuffey pushes it back to Harding, and Harding now finds a gap down the left. The Saville closed down immediately by Neal, but he gets it to Honeyman. Hume gets a foot on it. Throw to Millwall on the left. Inside the Millwall half. Tony Mowbray is having an angry exchange with the fourth official. Well, Tony Mowbray is. The fourth official is completely unmoved. Throw from Wallace to Fleming, and out to Wallace again on the left. Forwards again, looking for Saville, but Humes whipped in front of his international colleague and got it inside in the middle to Ballard. And Ballard, another of his Northern Ireland colleagues, gets it out on the left to Huggins, who plays it back to Equa. Equa plays it across here to O'Nien, and O'Nien just short pass forwards to Hume, then Neal back to O'Nien at the back of the centre circle. He just drives it through the middle. Sheesh, almost winded by it, but eventually back to Bielkowski, the Millwall keeper. I've lost touch of my nose. 40 minutes nearly.
That's gone out.
Played, and that's gone out for a throw to Sunderland.
All right, Geordie, mate. Take care, mate. Thanks a lot, pal. Enjoy the game tonight if you're watching it, yeah?
And that's on halfway. Huggins will take the throw. And he finds Equa back to Huggins. Huggins back again to
Millwall.
Ballard.
Middlesbrough's on a bit of a slump again, aren't they?
Plays it across here to O'Nien. Calling Barr towards him. Barr here on the right, back to O'Nien.
So Middlesbrough's on a bit of a downward spiral.
Into the middle to
I would say.
Hume. Leeds 3, Middlesbrough 1. Sunderland have Leeds, of course, on Tuesday week at home. We'll have that live on BBC Radio Newcastle. Here's O'Nien on the right again. Down the line to Barr. Barr. Just lazy pass behind him. Ashish didn't get anywhere near it. And Honeyman looking for the gap now for Fleming, and Ballard comes back, whips the ball off him.
Great defending.
It's a corner.
Great defending by Ballard.
So Millwall nearly exploited the mistake. Ballard, though, as you say, did really well to get back and get the ball, just put his foot through it on the shoulder of Fleming.
Keep getting messages on my phone saying...
This from the left.
Keep getting messages on my phone saying chat to date, your password.
And,
what?
He's having a good look.
Cooper's at the back
having a good look at it,
he's watching. There's a bundle of players at the back of the box, including Cooper. They now break. The ball floats in towards the far post now. O'Nien and Cooper have gone down together. The ball's put back in here again, headed out by Ballard. And there's a push at the edge of the area, is there? No. And the ball shot straight at Patterson by Saville.
Need to step up into gear. Can't understand why Birdsball is playing. I know. You guys happy with? Are you happy with Birdstore today, then, lads? Are you lot happy with Birdstore today? Someone's just said need to step up a gear. Can't understand why Birdstore's playing.
To Equa looking to lift it over the top for Burstow, who will be offside. Free kick to Millwall. So this will be taken by Wes Harding.
In
fact, in the end, taken by Saville. Harding drives up to Nisbet on halfway. Ballard gets a foot through it, but it comes back to Jake Cooper. Cooper swings it away from Ashish, looking for Honeyman's run.
Would you guys be happy with a point today, then?
Honeyman onto it down this left-hand side. Plays it inside to Fleming now. Fleming little back heel back to Honeyman on the left, who sweeps across in straight at Patterson.
Ipswich, how the hell have they managed? How the hell's Ipswich managed to do what they're doing? Like,
O'Nien out through the middle, Equa, Ashish, and now down the left to Leonard, who got there ahead of Clark. Back to the goalkeeper, who passes it out to Leonard on the right wing, down the touchline to Harding, and forwards looking for Norton Cuffy.
But as it stands, Sunderland are currently 9th in the table.
Honeyman cut out by Hume. It went to Hume. Ipswich 2, Coventry 0. And now O'Nien looking for the run of Barr, headed away by Wallace. Forwards down the left side to Fleming, to Mitchell. Mitchell with Neil on his shoulder.
I've just had a notification, and you're not going to like it, chaps.
Inside to Saville. Saville back to Harding, and Harding now in the middle of his own half, looking for Saville, but blocked by Ballard, but it falls to Leonard. And play on after a collision or a foul by Ballard to Nisbet. And Nisbet scores on the end of it in the 6-yard box into the bottom left-hand corner. And that coming in the 44th minute.
Yeah, again,
you know, from the referee.
We've got caught out there. Obviously, Ballard's gone in with that for that tackle there. The referee could easily have pulled him up for a foul there, but he's played the advantage. Ballard's not in the middle. Ball's played in, and there's Nesbitt to tap.
Oh, there we go again.
Yeah, Ballard.
And all the players are looking at the replay.
Out. Ballard being spoken to by the referee is going to get a yellow card for that foul.
What is going on, man? What is going on?
And the yellow shown to Ballard. Leonard's back up on his feet. It was Leonard who he fouled. The referee played the advantage. The ball was swept up.
Rusty Mackerman, Gran Canaria, I know.
From 6 yard.
3 minutes. Injury time.
3 minutes of added time.
And Nick, I know what you're going to say, and we've done it a few times this season. We've conceded just right on half time. 3 minutes injury time we play.
And we're 30 seconds into those 3 minutes now. Millwall 1, Sunderland 0. Plymouth 1, Stoke 1. Kevin Nisbet 2-2, scored in the week at Ipswich, scores again. This is,
who was doing the marking there, though?
Bolton 3, Harrogate 0 in the cup. Here's Huggins on the left into the Millwall half. Saville goes through Ashish to put the ball out for a throw to Sunderland. Leeds 3, Middlesbrough 2.
How about this, mate?
We've got 2 minutes of the 3 left. The ball up towards Barr, trying to head it on, but Saville, Wallace.
I would say give Mowbray till at least the end of the season. See what he can do.
trying to find Norton Cuffey wide on the right, but Huggins is there.
Because we can't keep swapping managers, can we? This is what the happy clappers are going to see in the chat.
Wide on the right to Leonard again. Clark didn't get it off him. Through to Fleming, who outwits Ballard but runs away into the path of O'Nien. And back to Patterson. Bolton 3, Harrogate 1 in the FA Cup. Pushed out to Luke O'Nien. And O'Nien.
The summer gone on behind the scenes as Middlesbrough's just pulled a goal back.
O'Nien, he's driven it wide to the left, looking for Clark. Comes down to him on the touchline. Leonard's with him, gets a foot on it, and it's rolled out for a throw to Sunderland. Clark takes it just inside the Millwall.
I'm sorry, lost against Plymouth, lost against Huddersfield, losing against Millwall. We were supposed to be picking up points against them for the hard games of West Brom and Leeds coming up. We're doing the opposite.
And now back to Neil down in the corner. Fleming's gone with him. Neil plays it back to Clark on the left, and Clark into the middle here to O'Nien. O'Nien gets the ball through the penalty area, but well wide.
A little bit of
I think
frustration,
it was a pass, yeah.
Creeping in there.
I think he was trying to pass it through into the path of Dan Neil, but
the thing is, Nick, you know, we're looking at this 45 minutes, and you know, we say that Sunderland have done okay, but we haven't not created an opportunity.
Bielkowski's not had a save to make.
So the last 8 games we've lost 5. Ain't good enough, lads. Lasses.
Foul by Ballard. And now here on the halfway line, Mitchell.
Listening from Malaga, flying over the UK 13th of December. I heard weather shite snow. We've got snow over here, but very, very little. Oh my God.
Yet again this season, Sunderland concede just before the break.
Right on half-time, Nick. And for one or two of these players, it's an experience which they haven't been through, because we know it can be hostile. You know, it's quite end-to-end stuff, and the challenges are there, and it raises the atmosphere in here, and it's something which we've got to deal with. But you look at Sunderland that first 45 minutes, and if we're going to score, we've got to create an opportunity. We haven't created an opportunity. You know, you can look at Bird, whoever else as a striker, but surely you've got to give him some service.
Yeah, he's been barely in the game, has he?
He hasn't.
He's been having to drop.
Yeah, we can pass the ball, but it's a final ball round that 18-yard box.
Much to do in the second half. For one thing, they've got to try and test Bielkowski in the Millwall goal, who's not had a save to make in the first 45 minutes. Again, Sunderland have enjoyed quite a lot of possession.
You guys ready for some social medias?
Millwall was starting to gain in terms of the advantage in terms of possession, and they took full advantage of that in that last minute of the 45 when Ballard fouled Leonard. The ball broke down the right.
Yeah, Callum Mills says, Birdstore and Barr offering nothing. Neither of them have a first touch whenever the ball's being played into them. Big second half needed.
You know, we have not put the ball in the box. We haven't created an opportunity. And what we've got to be careful of, Nick, you know, Jack Clark's picked up a yellow card. Ballard's picked up a yellow card. What we don't want to do is go down to 10 men.
Yes, that sort of atmosphere, that sort of game. It's you wouldn't rule it out. So half-time.
And Peter Bogg of our name says, a poor game in general, but we've been terrible. Constantly trying to attack through and out of form Clark. Birdstone must be sent back to Chelsea. Wanted Barr back in the side, I was wrong. He's not offered anything, and we've conceded thanks to Ballard wandering. Get Job, Roberts and Mayenda for Adil, Burstow and Barr.
However you're watching, a TV licence is your must-have pass to over 400 live TV channels with loads of gripping dramas to get you through the long nights. And it also funds everything you love from the BBC, including live radio like this.
And the last one I'll go for now is Matt Padgett says, Clark needs to learn to pass or play the ball into the box rather than taking every CUNT on in the right back's pocket all the time.
Kevin Nisbet with the goal for the host just before half time. A reminder of our phone in after today's game. You can give us a call on 0800 234 6565. The WhatsApp number is 08000 321 333. Text us as well, 81333. Start your message.
We do need strikers badly.
BBC. Let's just take you through with some of the other games happening around the country. We will begin in the Premier League. Arsenal are leading Wolves 2-0 at the Emirates at half-time. Brentford.
Cheers, Days, mate.
Burnley, though,
I just hope you like the setup.
2-0 at the break. Moving. Yep.
Total Sport Northeast.
On the station with Newcastle and Sunderland commentary exclusively live.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
Got to mention that there's a 5:30 in the Premier League today. Nottingham Forest against Everton also will come to Newcastle.
What do you guys?
Today in the early kickoff,
I know.
Brom lost 2-1 to Leicester City in the early kickoff. Josh Madger scoring what he thought was a late equaliser for West Brom in the 89th minute, but then Harry Winks scored in the 94th minute to win it for Leicester. It's goalless between Birmingham and Rotherham at half-time. It's ones each between Hull City and Watford. Ipswich leading Coventry 2-0, and it's been a hell of a half.
Cheers, Days, mate. Cheers.
And Middlesbrough leads winning 3-2 at the break. Millwall, as we already know, leading Sunderland 1-0. Plymouth and Stoke.
What do you think's to blame? What do you think's going wrong? What is it? I mean, look at how good that we have played.
Also leading, they lead Cardiff City 2-0 at St Mary's, and Huddersfield are leading 1-0 away to Swansea.
Total Sport Northeast.
The Newcastle and Sunderland AFC podcast
on BBC Sounds.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
It's FA Cup weekend, and in the second round we had two postponements today. Alfreton Town versus Walsall postponed due to frozen pitch, as well Blackpool versus Forest Green Rovers. Elsewhere, the 3 o'clocks at half-time. Bolton are leading Harrogate 3-1. Cambridge also scoring 3 this half. They lead Fleetwood Town 3-0 though. Gillingham leading 2-0 over Charlton.
Well, I mean, it's just eat, sleep, rave, repeat the last 3 games, including this one. We need to change the way we're going forward and attacking. It's just the same. What we've done the last 2 games, just down the right flanks coming in. There's no happening. No service to the strikers. And we need to be bloody switched on at the back, because every time a team's counteracting us, they're just walking the ball in the net. It's easy. It's not good enough. Tighten up at the back, and we need to change the way we're attacking.
Non-league wise, we only have 1 game today. It comes in the National League North.
No.
Spartans away to Rushall. Paul Dixon has been keeping an eye on it.
Well, it's not good news, Dom, either. It's Rushall Olympic 1, Blythe Spartans 0. On a game where they really need to get something, at least a point, and they could do with all 3 points. The home team went close after 15 minutes. Alec Mitchell made a real good save from a deflected shot by Sam McClintock. Good chance again for Rushall on 18 minutes. Andre Carvalho volleyed just over the bar from close range, where really he should have probably scored. The first chance for Blythe came. Cedric Main threw on goal, 25-yard shot, but it just went past the post. And the home team went ahead on 25 minutes, and what a good goal it was. Andre Carvalho rounding the keeper to slot the ball into the corner of the net after good work by McClintock. Blythe's best effort came on 33 minutes, and Nikal Najoli forced a real good save from Rushall keeper Jacob Wheeler. Just before half-time, Blythe's Elliot Ford was booked for, I think it was handball, but Blythe have got it all to do in the second half, losing 1-0 at half-time. Need Graham Fenton to have a little bit chat. Will it be a bit unfair from the fans to start shouting for Mowbray's head?
Paul will be back at full time to give us a full match report, and we'll also get some post-match reaction in our local football roundup from 5:50 this evening.
Matt Bailey at breakfast.
This morning on The Breakfast Show, we officially launched Christmas with a real live choir right here at BBC Radio Newcastle.
Sorry, I'm just muting the commentary there because they're playing some Christmas music, and I'll be doing some trimming later on. We should play up 2 up front. Of course we should. Thanks, mate. You're alright, Geordie, mate. Honestly, I didn't mind the friendly banter. Just do us a favour and beat Man United tonight, because I can't stand Man U. I can't stand them. Got a Geordie in my channel. He's saying, looks like you have to wait another year for the North East Derby return to the Premier League. I cannot really argue with that, to be honest with you, the way things are going. Is it backfiring what the owners have bought, what the players have signed in? Is it backfiring a bit? I mean, I'm just trying to pinpoint what it is. We're all excited when these new players were coming in, and it's like we've hit a brick wall and we're kind of climb over it. Cheers, Geordie, mate. Cheers, Geordie, fella. Oh, Chris. Oh, Gene Wilder. Gene Wilder's a good manager. The main thing is everybody keeps on crying out for we just strikers. We have not replaced.
I'm really happy with the performance. I thought the
we've
first
not.
half we already played well too, but football is about scoring goals and not conceding goals. So we did too. So then you can't say
Pountney's injured again.
half, but I think our game was well. And the first time they came on our half of the pitch was in the 11th minute, and they scored a goal straight away. So that was very disappointing. And they scored another one, but then the recovery, the resilience we showed, the level we showed, the second half was so good, and the eagerness to score goals and to keep going. I thought that was really, really good. I have seen some other very good games of us, but this is definitely one of the special ones too.
What did you say to the players at half time?
My mate Peter says Russian was a gamble that so far hasn't paid off.
Shaky again, because they were really struggling to keep us out of their 18-yard box, and we were really pushing them and pressing them, and we said we have to go for that, and we need some more.
Yeah, Clark is playing today, mate.
Tactically we needed to do something better, but most of all we said we have to step up now, another step. We need more from you, and everyone needs to do that, and that's exactly
Back in a second, guys.
Back in a second, guys. I'm just going to get a couple of vinegar sandwiches. Back in 2 ticks. And we really went to trying to get to the ceiling to take the next step. And yeah, that's just great to see that. Always believe the game is over until the referee whistles for the last time, and that's what we absolutely showed. And we almost got the 4-2. So that's a little bit disappointing. But if I look overall, I think I'm just really proud of the team, how we came back and won this game.
That is the England head coach Serena Wiegman there speaking to the BBC's Vicky Sparks. In the FA Women's National League tomorrow, Newcastle United host West Bromwich Albion at Kingston Park. It's 2 o'clock kickoff, but do keep an eye out because the weather does seem to be getting worse out there. Away from football though, and our third sporting commentary this weekend. Tomorrow afternoon, the Newcastle Falcons are the visitors to Welford Road as they take on Leicester Tigers Rugby Union's Premiership. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff. Build-up starts from about 2:40. via the BBC Sport website and app. Our commentary team will be Dean Gray and John Glisson. Dean has been talking to the Falcons head coach Alex Codling.
First and foremost, it's a huge physical test. They've got some big ball carriers, the likes of obviously Jasper Wiese, massive kicking game with Pollard at 10 and Ben Youngs at 9. So the territory battle and the ability to retain possession and how we exert pressure will be massive. And obviously around the set piece, they've got traditionally they've always been a very strong scrum and maul. So there are lots of threats for them, but as I say, for us, we've just got to make sure we focus on ourselves, build pressure, and when we get the chances, we have to take them.
That is the Newcastle Falcons head coach Alex Codling there, speaking ahead of tomorrow's Premiership game away to the Leicester Tigers. As I say, we'll have full match commentary. Kick-off is at 3. Just a couple of other things in the basketball last night in the BBL Championship. Newcastle Eagles lost at home. They were beaten 93-88 by the Surrey Scorchers. In the WBBL Championship tonight, there's a bit of a local derby. The Newcastle Eagles take on the Durham Palatinate. Tip-off this evening at the Eagles Arena is
What's going on? We're SHIT, Geordie Stream, that's what's going on. Dale says Tony Mowbray, just coach, can't blame him for the players speaking, brought too many inexperienced players. Absolutely bang on. Rusty Mackham in Gran Canaria, let's see if he brings Pritchard on. Any bets it's Job who is being rested. Great rest for Dak even. Jesus, God help us. Yeah, there's time to come back. Yeah, there is plenty of time, but Brazil on. We couldn't hit a huge side of a Titanic with a teaspoon at the minute.
Probably just get the warm-up because he'd had nothing to do in the first half. And Millwall defending the goal to our left, behind which the Sunderland fans are housed this afternoon. And Sunderland about to get the second half underway. No changes to either team at the interval. So Sunderland, Patterson in goal, Hume, O'Nien, Ballard and Huggins, Neal, Ekwa, Barr, Alshish, Clark and Burstow. And for Millwall, Bielkowski in goal, Leonard, Harding, Cooper and Wallace is the back four. Saville, Mitchell, Norton, Cuffey, Fleming, Honeyman and Nisbet the goal scorer. As the ball comes back to Bielkowski at the edge of his area in his turquoise light blue goalkeeping kit, runs across the penalty area.
Oh, he's trying to keep warm.
I thought he was going to keep warm. I thought he was going to run back across the penalty area. But now kicks up to the halfway line, over Clark, looking for Norton Cuffey. Huggins hooks it away, and then Leonard plays it back up onto the head of Ballard and out to Huggins on the left-hand side, trying to turn Norton Cuffey, the 19-year-old on loan from Arsenal. Fleming tried to flick it past O'Nien, who read it, and gets it out into midfield. Neal thought he was fouled. Saville has the ball now for Millwall in their dark navy blue shirts and white shorts, Sunderland in their red and white stripes. And Norton Cuffey pulls it back here, and Neal has to stab it to Huggins to clear up to the halfway line, and it'll run out for a throw to Millwall on this right-hand side.
Thomas Mitchell, what do you reckon? Mowbray out today?
They lead
be crap if he does, but we need wins. It's about results, isn't it? No matter how much you like a manager and that, it's a results business.
Which will be taken by Ryan
100%. It's a results business, and so far it's not happening.
Over the head of Norton Cuffey, headed away by Ballard. Leonard trying to put it back down the right, but it rolled back into the hands of Patterson in yellow, all in yellow. Out to O'Nien, and then wide to Barr, who's squeezed out on the halfway line by Honeyman and Wallace. Comes back to Cooper, across to Harding, this in the Millwall half. Alshish gives chase up towards Norton Cuffey, drops over his hand, Huggins' shoulders, and out for a throw to Sunderland. Half went inside their own half, quickly taken the throw by Huggins to Ekwa, back to Huggins, back again to Ballard, and Ballard back to Patterson. Cross to the right, O'Nien. Left for Hume, back to O'Nien and Hume again behind him, trying to sweep it down the right wing for Burstow to chase, but Harding just shoulders him off the ball. And the ball goes out for a throw to Sunderland. 1-0 Millwall lead, 48th minute. Starting to darken now, the skies around London. Red lights on the tops of all the cranes around the stadium, all the building work that's going on. The ball played through to Al-Shish. Behind him is Neil, leaves it for Hume, back to Dan Neil. And Neil now playing it back into the centre circle to Ballard. And Ballard to Ekwa. And Ekwa wide on the left here to Clark. Clark taking on Leonard. Clark trying to get past the defender to the goal line. The ball slips behind for a corner off Leonard. Sunderland's second corner of the match. Can they make it count? Clark will take it. Al-Shish is there with him. Barr's come across here on the left as well. Ekwa's in the penalty area at the corner of the 6-yard box. It's played short to Al-Shish, and Al-Shish now to Barr. Barr looks up, swings the ball into the penalty area, but it's headed away by Cooper. Out to Dan Neil, who brings it down and lays it off to Barr on the left. And Barr down the left touchline to Clark. Goes past Honeyman, who blocks him.
By Honeyman.
Free kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, clear foul by George Honeyman.
Good delivery, that's what you need here.
Al-Shish is going to take it as Clark tugs his shorts up.
Missed the front man, Al-Shish. He's got to put it into the space.
Two in the wall, Honeyman and Norton Cuffey. As Al-Shish then, from this left-hand side, 4 or 5 yards in, drives into all the far post, punched away by Bielkowski, out to Ekwa, brings it down onto his left foot, but the half volley is wide of the right post. Goal kick to Millwall, who lead still 1-0 in the 50th minute.
Was that our first effort on goal? Would you put that
Hi.
as an effort?
Yeah, mate, Andy lad. It's bloody freezing.
But again, the keeper
Speaking needs to learn what a striker is, because we have got up front, can't get a goal, even the size of Grand Canyon.
For
it's desperate. It's desperate.
Drives this to the halfway line on the right, headed away by Huggins, headed on by Harding again to Norton Cuffey, and across comes O'Nien to hook this back into the Millwall half. Harding, it dropped to Al-Shish, got a touch.
This is a chicken madras from last night. Absolutely lovely.
And he drives it first time up through the middle and headed down by Hume to Barr. Trying to spin it out to Hume, but put out by Wallace for a throw. Quickly taken by Barr, and he's been deemed to have foul-throwed it.
That's schoolboy stuff, Nick.
Yeah.
Seriously,
foul throw.
Lifting your foot up. Come on.
So Millwall have the throw now. Just inside the Sunderland half. Alex Pritchard going for a warm-up with Dack and Roberts. They don't like Pritchard in these parts. Honeyman back behind him to Cooper, who's lifted it up looking for Norton Cuffey on the right-hand side, but it drops for Huggins. Huggins back to Ballard under pressure from Fleming, but Ballard comes away with it, leaves it for Ekwa. Ekwa plays it to O'Nien, and O'Nien now bringing it towards the halfway line and playing it out to the right to Hume. 52nd minute. Here's Neil back to O'Nien, and O'Nien through to Burstow, back again to O'Nien, and O'Nien now through the middle. Little flick by Al-Shish, but it went to Harding and not a Sunderland player. Fleming leaves it for Norton Cuffey, nearly caught by Huggins. Up to Nisbet on the halfway line and out to Mitchell on the right-hand side here. And Mitchell plays it back inside to Saville. Harding behind him, into the middle now to Cooper. And Cooper looking for the run of Leonard on the right-hand side, but it's headed out by Huggins. Halfway inside the Sunderland half on the right-hand side, it's a throw to Millwall. Millwall fans trying to rouse their team, who lead 1-0 still in the 53rd minute. Here's Norton Cuffey, Brentford 1, Luton 0. Out to Leonard on the touchline, he takes the ball out. It's a throw to Sunderland from the left. Bolton 4, Harrogate 1. Huggins with this throw then for Sunderland. Looking for Burstow. He's done well here to get it away from Harding. Leaves it for Aushish. Back to Huggins, and behind him is Ekwa, who turns away from Nisbet. Plays it into the middle to Ballard, and across to O'Nien on the right-hand side. O'Nien wide now to Barr. Barr inside to Hume on halfway. In again to Dan Neil. And Neil squares it to Huggins, still just inside the Sunderland half, and now to Clark in front of Tony Mowbray. And through to Aushish. It comes up off Norton Cuffey though. And Aushish trying to win it back. Norton Cuffey turns away from him. Neil wins it back. Aushish wins it again to Norton Cuffey. And is laid off by Nisbet to Mitchell behind him. And they're breaking here with Honeyman on the left-hand side. Honeyman then closed down by Trey Hume. Plays it behind him to Wallace. Inside then to Fleming. And he looks to get it through to Nisbet. Nisbet leaves it again for Fleming, but it's intercepted, but it breaks for Norton Cuffey. Back to Fleming. Tries to find Saville. Saville into the penalty area on the right-hand side, and it's blocked his cross by Huggins for a corner.
I think the thing is, Nick, Ashish twice tries flicks.
And he loses it.
He loses the ball. It's great when they come off. But when they don't come off, it allows Millwall to break on us.
Millwall,
they're going to make a substitution, Sunderland.
Yeah, Roberts is going to come on.
Yeah, I would imagine Ashish will come off. Or Barr. Barr's not been in the game.
Not really. Corner from the right, which will be taken by George Honeyman. Hangs in the air, headed out by Ballard, who chases it out, but Fleming puts it back across here on the right.
It's out of the middle now,
Ballard.
Honeyman, out of the way.
And it's in the penalty area again. A block by Hume. Trying to put it back in is Mitchell. It drops to Huggins on the left of the penalty area. Harding is with him still. And Huggins blocked by Harding, who gets the ball back into the 6-yard box, but stabbed away by Ballard. Out to Burstow. Clark tried to sweep it in. Comes off Honeyman. It's a throw to Millwall, and the substitution will be made. It's a double substitution because Dack is coming on as well, and so is Pritchard. So the three that were warming up are all coming on now. Barely 10 minutes
will come off.
Half.
Ashish will come off. Barr's coming off, and I would imagine Burstow.
Yes. Bolton 5, Harrogate 1. Aushish is coming off for Pritchard, yeah. And local favourite, Alex Pritchard. And Dack will be the final of the three, coming on for Burstow.
You know, and again, yeah, you know, just looking at Burstow, he's not happy. He's not happy.
It's been a difficult afternoon for him. As you say, he's not had the service.
He hasn't had the service.
Yeah.
But, you know, we can't
always rely on one person to get us goals last
game,
season. We waited on them last season. Now it's Clark. No team can rely on one player, and that's what we seem to do every season.
Back down to
yeah, it looks good. Beautiful chicken madrassa. It tastes even better the next day.
Millwall leading the 57th minute now, 1-0. O'Nien on the right of his own penalty area to Roberts. Roberts to Hume ahead of him. Ball whipped off his feet though. It comes back to Jake Cooper, who puts it out on the touchline. Throw to Sunderland just inside the Millwall half. Drops to Dack, back to Hume, forwards to Roberts, but it's run past him. It's going to come back to Cooper here, across to Leonard. Clark goes to close him down, Leonard gets it back to the goalkeeper. Clark still gives chase, but the keeper clears. Up to the halfway line, up goes Ballard, and straight to Harding, and now out to Leonard. Pritchard in front of him, plays it down the line, looking well to try and get it to Nisbet, but it's come through to Norton Cuffey. Norton Cuffey into the penalty area, trying to square it here on the 6-yard box line, the corner of the 6-yard box. Trying to dig it out was Fleming, but Ekwa gets the ball off the Dutchman and gets it away onto the touchline, and it's put out for a throw to Sunderland.
So we got away with that, didn't we, Sunderland? You're looking at Huggins and O'Nien both going for the ball and never got it.
Never got near it. Throw to Sunderland, deep in their half on the right, and drops for Dack. Back to Hume, trying to get it forwards to Roberts, but surrounded by navy blue shirts.
I know.
Comes back up to
It's
Nisbet
relegation.
outside the penalty
It's
area on the
relegation
left.
material.
And
This. I don't
eventually
care what anybody
hooked
says.
away
If
by
we carry
Roberts
on
for a
doing
throw
what we're
to
doing, we
Millwall.
could be out the league again. This
58
carries on.
minutes nearly. The ball played back to Cooper in the Millwall half on the left on the touchline. He plays it down the line. It'll be well away to Patterson.
Oh, we're playing absolutely terrible.
Passes it out to Luke O'Nien.
Looking at these last three games, I cannot see where the next win's going to come from.
Back to O'Nien.
I can't.
O'Nien now. They've got no one in the middle, have they, up the front?
Got no movement at all. No movement. Nobody's making a run. Look.
Huggins out to Clark. Now looking for Pritchard.
Great
Inside.
touch.
Lovely little touch from Pritchard. Trying to get Huggins away. Drops for Clark. Clark taking it on. Trying to get it in the centre. It looked like a handball by Harding. Seems to have got away with it. Ball comes back to Pritchard on the left-hand side here. Leaves it for Huggins. Huggins now curls the ball across to the far side. Looking for Roberts. Brings it down on the edge of the penalty area. Bringing it in now onto his right to put it back. There's nobody there.
Nobody there.
And it's turned away by Norton. Coffey to Nisbet. It's
And
Nisbet against Ballard. Nisbet on the
Who's
left.
just said 2-0?
Going to take on Ballard. Nisbet still going, but Fleming's in there now as well. But Ballard tackles him. Gets the ball to O'Nien. O'Nien now out to Huggins on this left-hand side. Up to the halfway line and down the left to Clark. Clark just inside the Millwall half. Millwall leading 1-0. An hour nearly played. Here's Ekwa to Neil and then out wide to Roberts. Roberts looking to get in, cutting in and trying to get the ball down the right here to Hume.
You need people
Hume's
in the
ball
box.
to Pritchard, little back heel. A chance for Roberts. Trying to find Pritchard. But Millwall managed to knock it away. And now Hume's trying to play it back in, but Honeyman gets in front of him. And Honeyman turns it away. And it'll run down the touchline to Dan Neil. Neil now looking for a way in. He's got Dak inside. Dak, short pass to Roberts. Back to Dan Neil, wide on the right. Inside to Roberts again. Back behind into Pritchard. Pritchard to Dak. Lays it off again to Pritchard. Pritchard's cross looking for Clark. But Leonard cushioned the header back to the goalkeeper.
You've got to gamble.
Brentford 2, Luton 0.
You've got to gamble. Midfield players have got to gamble. You know, the likes of Neil, Ekwa. You've got to make runs into the box.
Keeper kicks. Ballard gets his head on it. Comes back to O'Nien. He had to be sharp because Fleming was on his shoulder. Out to Huggins. Inside to Ekwa. And Ekwa now back across to Luke O'Nien. O'Nien wide to Roberts. Roberts
But basically playing with
through to Hume, but he gives it away to Cooper. Playing without a centre forward.
Sorry, yeah, that's what I was just going to say, Nick. We're playing without a centre forward.
Look at that gap.
Harding driving it away.
Look at that gap in the middle of the pitch when we've gone forward. Like
Pritchard now in the middle. He's got Huggins
people
leaves
in the
for
box.
Clark. There's nobody in the box at the minute. Dak's making a run into that area. Clark trying to get round Leonard. Leonard fouls him. Free kick in midfield, 25 yards out on the left. But Sunderland have got to find a way. Dak's having a word with Ballard, who's come up here. It's going to be Pritchard who takes the free kick. Ballard jogging up towards the edge of the Millwall penalty area. Clark's wide on the left of it. Dak and Pritchard are crouched down over the ball, having a conversation. And the free kick. Now
it's going to burst the back of the net, man.
Again, the conversation continues between Pritchard and Dak. Dak's arms just swept out for a moment.
Just sums us up, doesn't it?
This Pritchard curls this in, and it's flicked by O'Nien round the post. Got his head on the end of it, trying to glance it round past the keeper, but glanced it round the post. 1-0 it remains, 63rd minute. Millwall looking at a couple of changes now.
Yeah.
Looks like Ryan Longman, who's on loan from Hull, is coming on.
And Bradshaw.
and striker Bradshaw. And it's Honeyman who's coming off. And the other change is Nisbet for Bradshaw. Straight swaps in either case. This coming in the 63rd minute. Something different from Millwall. Short pass from the goalkeeper to Harding. Harding bringing this out on the right-hand side. He lifts it high up into the Sunderland half, looking for Bradshaw.
Triple change and no strikers on the pitch.
Fleming
You should try the old
back
4-4-2 instead of keeping the strikers
Cooper
on the bench.
in the centre
Said
circle.
somebody on social
Lays it
media.
off to Wallace and down the line to the Longman, the substitute who's just come on. And,
There must be a reason
back
for it. He
goes
must
to
obviously
Hume,
think they're not
trying
good
to
enough.
find Dak, and he's trying to get inside.
well.
He swings the ball across here, looking for Clark, but nodded
Be freezing
down
there,
away
mate.
from Clark by Leonard. For
This
a
is
throw.
rubbish set again. Why do we put up this every time? I know.
Back it goes to Ballard. O'Nien, then wide to Roberts, who's cutting inside, looking for Dak at the edge of the
That's
area.
a
Was
foul.
it foul? The referee says no. Dak is furious, but Millwall clear. It comes back to O'Nien, who heads it down away from Tom Bradshaw, the Welsh international, and Ekwa now has it. Plays it inside into the middle. Ballard bringing this up through the centre circle. 25 minutes to play, and Huggins onto it on the left-hand side, trying to get into the penalty
Great
area.
tackle.
Very, very good tackle by Leonard. Out to Fleming, Mitchell, who drives it out straight at Ballard, and now to Pritchard. Pritchard out to Clark on the left. He's got to come in past Mitchell, gets into the penalty area. Clark trying to pull it back into the 6-yard box, and
It's just so
past the
depressing,
front of the
Andrew,
post by
honestly.
Dak. It skimmed the post.
Great play again by Jack Clark, getting to the byline.
Dak in, 2 yards out, put his
Wrong
foot
side
to it
of the
and just
post.
the wrong side of the post.
Yeah.
Still 1-0 to Millwall in the 65th minute. BBC Radio Newcastle later tonight, 7 o'clock build-up, 8 o'clock kick-off. Newcastle against Manchester United. Here's Leonard, back behind him to Harding, comes off the back of Pritchard, and it bounces out. It's a throw to Millwall on this right-hand side, halfway inside their half. Leonard's going to take it. Longish throw, looking for Fleming, then headed on by Saville, but it'll come back for Ballard to deal with here. Bradshaw goes to close him down.
Eh?
And
darling?
back it's played
Okay.
to
2 minutes,
Anthony
darling.
Patterson. What is it about the Millwall forwards? Because
You want some
Nisbet
garlic
played with
bread? Okay, 2
first
minutes.
hour with his socks rolled down, and now Bradshaw's doing the same. As away comes Sunderland on Roberts,
Well done, Roberts.
on the right-hand side, looking for Dak. Dak out to Hume. Hume back inside to Roberts. Roberts just dinking it through to Pritchard, who gets it back to Dak on that right-hand side, and just desperately trying to find a way through. Have to come back to O'Nien, and O'Nien squares it to Ballard. And Ballard now down the left-hand side to Clark. Clark taking on Norton Cuffy, corner of the penalty area, trying to go onto his right. Norton Cuffy tackles him, comes away with the ball, shows too much of it, and he's won the free kick.
Oh, he's got to send him off.
And a yellow card for Saville.
Oh.
No, Saville booked because he argued with the referee.
Sorry.
Why didn't he play the advantage?
I thought he was going to give it to. I thought he was going to give the yellow card to Clark.
No, I watched Saville's reaction. He was furious with the referee for not playing the advantage, and the referee's booked him for dissent. Still arguing with him.
Because he's waved his hand to
Okay,
give
2
Clark the
minutes.
card. That's why.
Yeah.
They wanted him to be booked again. That's what it was.
But it's a free kick.
I know.
To Millwall. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Blackburn 1.
That's what he's given it for.
A quarter of the game left. It's 1-0 to Millwall.
Up it.
Bielkowski with
Christmas
the
tree?
kick down the right-hand side. over Norton Coffey's head, and Ballard has to come across. Bradshaw shoves him in the back. The ball goes out, throw to Sunderland, which is left for Huggins to take by Ballard. I think this is going to get quite feisty actually in the last 20 minutes.
Look where Roberts is, Nick.
He's standing wide on the right. There's nobody there. There's nobody in the middle. Dax in the middle, but not up front. And here's Cooper. Swings it over to the left, looking for Ryan Longman. Takes it on his chest. He's beaten Hume to the ball. Hume has to chase back with Longman. Longman taking it on now and crossing into the box for Bradshaw.
Great save.
And a touch from Patterson.
What a great save that is.
Just enough to keep it out.
Well done, Patterson. Fantastic.
Very, very good save. Good save from Patterson. But it's a corner to Millwall on the right, which Saville will take. And Patterson, has he done enough to keep Sunderland in this game now? 1-0. Swept in by Saville, and they're looking for Bradshaw, but headed out by Ballard, and then put out by Leonard. Throw to Sunderland. That might have been a game changer from Sunderland. That save by Patterson. Huggins with the throw then. Deep in his own half. Back to Ballard, out to Huggins again on the touchline. He's cutting forwards again now, trying to come past Norton Coffey.
You would be happy with a point today, wouldn't you?
To Saville, who thumps it out for another throw to Sunderland. Huggins again to take this.
Oh my God.
Urging him on, the Millwall fans. But, across comes Dan Neil. Neil back to Huggins. Huggins back behind him. Neil playing it across so dangerously, but it's headed back to the goalkeeper by Hume. And Patterson now drops it to the feet of Luke O'Nien. 70th minute, Millwall 1, Sunderland 0.
Just going to put the wash in on that more vengeful than Sunderland, I know.
2, I believe. Here's Roberts out to Dak, back inside to Roberts, skips round down the right, looking to try and
help.
Get past 3 defenders, and in the end he's fouled by Wallace. Free kick on the right side of midfield, quickly taken by Dak to Ekwa, and it comes off the referee. Drop ball.
Running out of time, even a point will do.
I know. His arms. He was right in front of Ekwa, and Ekwa tried to thread it through.
Sorry.
And so a drop ball on the right side of midfield, halfway inside the Millwall half. Sunderland in their red and white stripes. Ekwa, Hume, wide to Roberts. Roberts now trying to get in past Murray Wallace, and then plays it back behind to Ekwa, who plays it back to Luke O'Nien. Now to Neil. Neil here to Clark on the left-hand side. Clark back to
We're just going left
Neil.
and right, left and right,
Neil
left and right. That's
Ballard.
all we're doing. We've done this for the last 2 matches.
O'Nien down the right wing to
We're on the side
Roberts.
of the pitch. Now we're going to come across the other way now. Here we go. Going to pass it the other side.
Long stuck with him. He gets it to Hume wide on the right. Back to Roberts again, and Roberts.
See, we've got to play around. We can't play through.
Too many bodies in front.
We're passing.
And now Ekwa.
Passing the ball, we're just not going anywhere.
We're
With
cross to.
We'll come across again.
Is now trying to play it through, and it's whipped behind by Cooper. It was a mistake by Cooper, and Sunderland are grateful for that. Corner from the right-hand side. Pritchard to take. Dak's gone into the 6-yard box. Hume, Ballard, O'Nien.
That's
and
an
Clark
awful
all
corner.
Up. Dan Neil just outside the penalty area. Roberts out wide on the right. Pritchard then with the corner kick. Drives it in low, hooked away, only as far as Clark. Clark trying to find a way through here in the middle, but he has to square it to his right to Ekwa, and then forwards to Pritchard. Pritchard looking for the run of Roberts down the right of the penalty area, into the penalty area, tries to play it through, and Ballard, head in his hands, has put it over the bar from 8 yards.
Great
what an opportunity that was.
Great opportunity. I tell you what, Roberts has looked lively since he's come on.
Yes.
Need to pull the fingers out of their arses. We're doing, aren't they?
Well, he's got to hit the target. Another substitution.
2, yeah.
Watmore's coming on.
Watmore's coming on. back from injury.
Mayenda's coming on.
Mayenda's, yeah, is the other coming on.
I thought he was injured.
He's had a, well, he's not injured as such. They're worried about the hamstring that he's had. Coming on for Neil Mayenda. Who did Watmore come on for? So Mayenda comes on. 73rd minute, these two substitutes, but I can't. Who did Watmore come on for?
Marion Trell's absolute shambles. I know.
Was it Saville?
He's come on for.
No, Saville's still there.
He's come on for Fleming.
Fleming, you're right. Yes. Yes. As now the ball drops to Roberts. Mayenda's made a run down the right, inside to Hume. Now out to Mayenda. Mayenda taking on Wallace, who blocks. And Mayenda gets a foot to it, but Longman gets a foot to it too. And Millwall have got possession back.
Foul.
And then there's a foul on the far side by Hume. Not very happy about it. But free kick to Millwall on the left touchline, halfway inside their own half. 74th minute, Millwall leading 1-0. And the free kick left for Bielkowski to take.
Oh no. I can smell a goal. I can smell a goal. Like.
I think.
Yeah. I think it's been warned before.
So the Millwall keeper.
I can smell a goal for us. Someone's going to come here soon.
And ball was Watmore giving chase, but Patterson comes out and takes this the edge of the area. It's rolled to Ballard. Out here on the left to Huggins.
Nope.
Huggins back.
But I can
Ballard.
I can definitely.
Ballard.
I can definitely sniff something.
In the middle of the Sunderland half, rolling it to O'Nien. Bradshaw gives chase to close him down. He gets it to Roberts on the touchline.
Well, at the moment, vinegar, because I just had 2 vinegar sandwiches.
Out, the pass through to Dak by Saville. Comes back to Ballard in the centre circle, who lays it off to his left to Huggins.
Beautiful.
And Huggins now down the left wing to Clark. Inside to Pritchard, who nods it down the wing for Clark to run onto. And Leonard cuts across and pushes the ball out. Throw again to Sunderland on this left-hand side to Pritchard. Back to Clark. Clark now looking for the run of Huggins. Huggins goes with Mitchell. Mitchell gets in front of him and holds him off. Ball goes behind. It's a corner. Because didn't hold him off well enough, Mitchell.
It's Ped. Huh? In a minute, yeah.
Pritchard to take this corner in front of the 2 banks of Sunderland fans. 3,000 of them have made this journey. They need warming up. Pritchard then with Roberts here on the right, on the Sunderland left as well. Clark makes a run, makes a dash towards the edge of the penalty area, but it's whipped in by Pritchard, headed out by Millwall. And in the middle it's Huggins and it's Ekwa who puts it up, looking for Hume, but it's headed away again. Norton Cuffey's trying to get it out. So too is
it's all
Saville.
Sunderland. It is all Sunderland. Just like it was against Huddersfield.
Dropped on the arm of Huggins, but no free kick. As Watmore trying to go past him now.
Penalty.
Pritchard down the left to Clark. Clark being closed down by Leonard, goes past him into the penalty area. Oh, is he brought down? Penalty.
Penalty.
Leonard's brought Clark down. It's a penalty to Sunderland.
I says I could sniff a goal, didn't I?
In past Leonard. Leonard stuck his foot out. Clark's gone down in the 77th minute. It's a penalty.
I tell you what, Nick, if you see that again,
he went down easily, but
I think he played the ball. But we'll take it.
Ball. You take anything you can get.
It's an interesting one.
Clark's going to take it, isn't he?
Burnley 3, Sheffield United 0. The chance for Clark to take his tally to 10, 5 penalties. Millwall lead 1-0 in the 77th minute.
It's interesting.
Brentford 2, Luton 1. Here then.
Here's your goal, says Jordan.
Placing the ball on the penalty spot. Clark against
What?
Bartosz Bielkowski.
What's the matter?
Cooper's not happy with the placing of the ball. He's strode into the penalty area for a word with the referee. He's been ushered away and he's been shown a yellow card for his trouble. So now in the 78th minute,
Look at them on purpose. Look at them on purpose.
Opportunity to equalise for Sunderland. Possibly the only way they were going to equalise is from a penalty spot. Hands on his hips at the moment, standing over the ball, Jack Clark. Sunderland fans behind Bielkowski. He crouches, goes big, and
get in!
Just inside the penalty area. Poised, his arms down by his side. As he comes forwards, Clark, and drives it in the corner. It's 1-1.
Well done, Jack Clark.
Equalises. 78th minute. His 5th penalty of the season.
He deserves that, Jack Clark.
He skipped in. Was fouled by.
So it's been a good test between him and Leonard on this.
Yes.
I tell you what, Jack Clark's kept going at him.
And he's been caught by him in the end. It's 1-1. Millwall 1, Sunderland 1. And now, well, who's got the nerve to go on and try and win it? Saville trying to push it forwards here, down the right for Bradshaw.
He's offside.
There's a call for a push by the Millwall fans. The ball goes out for a throw to Millwall. Down in the corner on the right-hand side.
I told you, didn't I could sniff a goal? Didn't I say it? Didn't I say it, lads?
This game. Burnley 4, Sheffield United 0.
Hope we get out here safely.
1. Yeah. Leonard's long throw into the box. It's flicked down. Dax peeling for a foul on Ballard. Referee's given it.
Now Sunderland jump back up to 9th.
O'Nien takes it quickly. Pushing it out here to Huggins on the left. Back inside to Ekwa. And Hull 1, Watford 2. Dack on the halfway line on the right, slips it inside to Hume. Back to O'Nien. Out to Dack on the far side. Given away though in the end to Saville.
That's the dinner sort of date.
Free kick to Millwall inside their half, just inside their half. Roberts trying to run away with his hands raised so the referee doesn't book him. And Sheffield Wednesday 2, Blackburn 1. We're in the 80th minute, 10 minutes to play, all square, all to play for. Here's the free kick from Millwall, hangs in the air at the edge of the penalty area, headed away by Ballard. Screams from the Millwall fans as Cooper went down. He's going back in again here, trying to push the keeper. Drops
great block.
Great block by.
It's a foul
Ballard.
anyway. It's a foul.
There's a foul on Ballard by Watmore. And there's a yellow card.
The way he's handing these yellow cards out, Nick, you just feel that there's going to be,
wasn't it?
It's going to be a red card somewhere, don't there?
There is, I think.
You're losing count of the amount of yellow cards he's handed out.
I'm assuming that was for Bradshaw because.
Can we go and win this? That's the thing. Can we go and win it?
It's gone a bit feral, hasn't it? Here's O'Nien pushing it through the middle to Ekwa, laying it.
I would take a point. I just don't want a defeat. I just don't want another defeat.
Closed down by Bradshaw, plays it back inside.
I'm bursting for the loop, but down go now.
Sunderland 1. Out to Clark on the left-hand side, back inside to Pritchard, back to Clark. Clark now to Ballard, and then to O'Nien. This still in the Sunderland half. Bradshaw goes to close it down, plays it out wide to Roberts. Roberts taking on Longman, plays it through, slips it through to Hume. Blocked though, comes back to Dack. Dack swings it into the middle to Ballard. Ballard bringing this up to the halfway line, out to Clark on this left-hand side.
Sunderland.
Clark back to Ballard.
Sheffield United.
And Ballard now to O'Nien. And O'Nien down the right wing to Roberts. He's got to take on Longman. Cuts inside, plays it through to the edge of the area, looking for Mayenda, but it's hooked away by Wallace. Comes out to Ekwa, who manages to find Hume behind him, and Pritchard inside. Back to Hume, and Hume down the line, down the right of central midfield to Pritchard, right to the penalty. Crosses into Mayenda, onto his right foot, blocked by Wallace, and it's going to come there to Huggins. He tried to hook it back in, comes out again to Ekwa.
Sheffield Wednesday have scored and took the lead against Blackburn.
Great play by Pritchard. You've got to say it's all Sunderland at the present moment.
At the moment,
they're the ones who's asking questions.
Into the final 8 minutes, Millwall 1, Sunderland 1. The kick from Bielkowski. up towards Ballard, who gets his head on it, but straight down to Watmore. Watmore looking for the gap here for Bradshaw. Bradshaw blocked by Patterson.
Great save,
Great save by Patterson. And out it comes on this central side through the middle in the end. But a great block by Patterson.
Great, he made himself big there.
He did. Bradshaw has twice been denied by Patterson. And now Cooper playing it from the back again, looking for Bradshaw, but Ballard manages to get back to Patterson at the edge of his penalty area to kick down into the Millwall half.
Watch the comeback 2-1.
Leonard steps inside Clark into the middle now to Mitchell. Behind him is Cooper, and Cooper trying to get the ball away down the left wing to Longman. Headed in the air by Longman, pushed by Hume. Hume nods it down. Longman gets in front of him. He plays it inside to Mitchell. Mitchell now looking for Saville. He's picked him out on the shoulder of Dak. Now down to Watmore in the penalty area. He's trying to get the ball back, but Eckworth managed to stab it away. And Roberts trying to stop it from going behind for a corner, which he does, but it goes out for a throw. Brentford 3, Luton 1. Quickly taken
Brentford
throw.
3, Luton 1.
Burnley 5, Sheffield United 0. The ball played in towards Longman, headed out, looking for Norton Cuffy here. Pritchard in front of him, he tees up Harding in the middle, through to Norton Cuffy again. And Norton Cuffy now coming towards the right of the penalty area with Leonard, trying to go around Clark, who stabs it away. It's a throw to Millwall. 84th minute, 1-1 still. And it's going to be a long throw. And of course Cooper's gone up for this. He's on the penalty spot. Wallace goes in there and is pushing into Eckworth. The long throw comes in towards Cooper, bounces away from him.
Yeah, I think he's a smash Man U.
Got the ball. Yeah. He clears it, or Sunderland clear it certainly. And it comes back to Bielkowski on the right here. And he will just drive it back up into the Sunderland half. Looking for Cooper, who stayed up, headed down by O'Nien. It's bobbling everywhere, and eventually Huggins puts his foot through it, and it will drop for Wallace.
I'll take that,
head down the left to Longman. Longman trying to get the ball down the left of the penalty area to Watmore. Watmore now left, tries to cross, blocked by O'Nien. It's put back in by Wallace, looking for Saville, but caught by Patterson. 85th minute, 1-1. The ball was hurled out by Patterson.
It's all Millwall now, like the last 5 minutes.
He plays it back to Mitchell. He gets it away from Mayenda, back to Harding on halfway. Inside to Cooper, back to Harding. And Harding now through to Saville. Closed down by Huggins, leaves it for Harding on the right. And Harding now plays it off Huggins. It comes off Harding. I thought that should be a Sunderland ball.
Sunderland ball it is.
It's a Sunderland throw. And Huggins will take this. Brooke Norton Cuffy's given the Millwall man of the match. And it's Huggins with this throw then, just inside his half. Pritchard chests it back. Huggins gets a foot to it before Mitchell gets it off him. Back into the middle to Saville. Little flick here from Bradshaw to Watmore. Watmore now taking it through the middle if he can. Ballard's on his shoulder.
Well, so
gets
far
it in the box to Longman.
It's Millwall.
It's headed away by Dak
oh,
in the 6-yard box.
That's
still
offside.
Picked up by Longman. He's still in the penalty area with it, and then swings a ball off the post and then in. Bradshaw scored. The flag is up.
Offside.
The flag is up for offside.
It's
it
offside.
Won't count. It doesn't count. Bradshaw offside.
The one and signs.
He must have taken a deflection because
the one and signs are there though.
Patterson was just letting it go.
Yeah.
And I thought he was going to deal with it. He's just let it go. He's come back off the post. Lucky.
I'm up for that Geordie stream, absolutely. Yes, sir.
Maybe a little bit of a charm life there in that few minutes.
Oh.
And Patterson waiting to take the free kick in the 87th minute. Everybody towards the far side. Patterson's kick, headed by Cooper to Norton Cuffy on halfway. He's wrestling with Huggins now. Clark trying to get it and leaves it for Huggins. Huggins on halfway. Got to slip it into
They're
the
going
middle.
for the win, Millwall. Like
the ball away here. and it's through the middle with Longman on the right-hand side now. Clark chasing back, Longman still going. Longman now just playing it into the centre, and then played through by Mitchell, but Ballard will get there ahead of Longman, and it will come out for a throw to Millwall on the right in the corner.
Long throw again, Nick.
Quickly taken throw by Saville to Leonard.
Well done, Clark.
Tackled by Clark, down in the corner, digs it out. Pritchard at the edge of the penalty area. Fouled, was he? He was, by Mitchell. Free kick.
It's right there, like Dayton, what you're saying.
How much injury time? 4 minutes?
4 or 5. With all those substitutions. Huggins will take the free kick short to Pritchard. Back to Huggins now to Ballard, who plays it across the face of Bradshaw to O'Nien on the far side of the penalty area. Down the right wing to Roberts. Roberts has got Dak inside. Roberts cutting inside.
Mayenda's touch, that was terrible.
Through now to Mayenda. Mayenda trying to get past Harding, who got a touch. It falls to Wallace. Wallace down the line to Longman. Inside looking for Watmore, but Hume gets in front, gets it to Dak. Dak now to Roberts. Was he fouled? The referee, no. Let's play go on. Mitchell leaves it to Leonard. Leonard back to the goalkeeper in the last minute. Up towards halfway. Headed down to Hume, who finds Ekwa, but it's whipped off him by Saville. And foul, says the referee. Foul on the edge of the centre circle.
Oh. The whole place is going up around us, Nick.
It is. Dak back to O'Nien, now to Ballard on halfway on the left-hand side, out to Clark. Clark down the line to Pritchard, lets it run. Huggins didn't quite read the intention of Pritchard there. It allowed Norton Cuffey to get in and get the ball away here, but straight to Clark. Clark cutting into the centre now.
What the hell was that, man?
Hume, just to the right of the centre circle, comes forward Trey Hume. He's going to try a shot. What's he trying there? It's going to bounce down towards the corner and out.
How can a professional football miss hit such a cross like that?
Leonard, and up to the halfway line. Ballard heads it forwards, headed in by Clark to Ekwa, forwards to Pritchard, back here to Clark on the left-hand side, and Clark dribbling at Saville, into Pritchard, back into Clark in the penalty area, onto the goal line. It's gone behind. Goal kick.
You're welcome, Dave, isn't it?
4 minutes. So 1-1 heading into added time, and two sides trying to halt runs of 2 successive defeats, all square.
Montefiore.
Ekwa gets his head on it on the halfway line. Up goes Harding, heads it on again, and Watmore gets a head on it. Now there's a foul on Saville, just inside the Sunderland half.
Switch on here.
Got to be sharp here.
Yeah, you know where the target's going to be. It's going to be Cooper.
Cooper's heading
and
up.
And they'll gamble, try to get the second ball.
Yeah.
Got to be on your toes.
A minute of the 4 played. Saville then over the free kick. Defensive line held, well, good 23, 24 yards out. Saville with the free kick. With his left, hangs in the air, up goes Cooper, headed away though by Ballard. Roberts looking to get on the end.
Well, I feel happier than I did when it was
with him, pushes it out
done.
For a Sunderland throw. Hume goes across to take this. He will find O'Nien on the goal line and plays it right across his penalty area to Ballard. Ballard bringing this out now for Sunderland onto the left-hand side. Huggins back inside to Ballard.
Yeah, I'd be happy with the point.
To O'Nien. In the second minute of the 4, left for Hume. Down the right touchline, Roberts back to Hume. Drives it forwards and it will come right through to Bielkowski at the edge of his penalty area. 2 minutes left. Harding to Saville. Out to Leonard, back into Saville. Saville through to Norton Cuffey, but he couldn't quite get on the end of it. It's come for Ballard to deal with, and Ballard will turn it away off Saville for a Sunderland throw. Huggins is going to take this.
Silly throw.
Oh, it's short. And
Silly
it's won
throw.
by Millwall. It's dropped here for Bradshaw. Now Norton Cuffey. He's trying to get it across the back of the penalty area to Mitchell. Mitchell has come back here into the middle. Mayenda's gone to close him down, but he's left it for Cooper. Cooper forwards down the left of the penalty area to Longman. And Longman,
come on,
almost
Sunderland,
in the corner
come on.
with Hume.
Come on.
He's just kept it in, and it's been
free kick.
Turned away into the path of Roberts, and Roberts is on the break. Roberts now, they're chasing back to try and pull Roberts back. Watmore, it's a free kick and a yellow card for Watmore. So,
last minute
of the
It's
four.
mental.
Free kick to Sunderland on the right, inside their own half. It's left for Luke O'Neill.
What was that?
It's Millwall 1, Sunderland 1.
Did you just see what Luke O'Neill did there?
30 seconds left. O'Neill tries it straight at Bradshaw on the
What's he
halfway
doing?
line. And he's played it back to Saville. Now Watmore's trying to get away again. And O'Neill has to work hard here to get it to Ballard and back to Patterson.
Trying to got away with that
and
one.
There's Tony Mowbray's head in his hands as Harding heads it on now. 10 seconds of the 4 left. Swansea 1, Huddersfield 1. And now with Wallace over the halfway line to Saville. Saville being chased by Dack down the left wing to Longman. Longman with Bradshaw in the penalty area. Longman trying to cut across the back of the box. Forced out by Dack. Plays it behind
That's
him
going
to
to be it,
Mitchell.
isn't it?
He lifts it up looking for Leonard. Headed away
No,
by
Geordie, I
Huggins.
won't be doing it, mate, for that.
Clark is trying to
We've got
knock it
other bits
down
and
a
bobs
free
to
kick
do. By
for
watching
foul
it, though, I'll be watching it.
On Clark.
That's it, that's full time.
We're into the 5th minute. In
That's
fact, we
it.
won't get any more. Full-time whistle goes. It finishes 1-1. All square. Two sides stopping the rot. But it needed a penalty for Sunderland to find the back of the net.
Yeah, and you've got to say, you know, them substitutions, especially Patrick Roberts coming on, brought Sunderland to life. You know, and you've got to say Pritchard as well, link-up play. All of a sudden we started to have a go at him.
Right, cheers everybody for popping in the chat.
We started to create opportunities, didn't we?
And
Yes,
good
and
luck
that's
for the
something which
match
we didn't
tonight.
do
Cheers,
when we had
mate.
a striker on.
And we were saying that they were playing
Smash
without
Man
a
U, 'cause I
striker and
can't
missing
stand
that,
them.
and then they did bring Mayenda on. I'm not sure whether that was
On
as a
TNT
result
Sports,
of the
not
fact that they didn't have
Sky,
someone
so
up
I'll have to
front
watch it.
in that period, and it was looking glaringly obvious that they needed someone through the middle.
Yeah, but again, Nick, you know, it's the same old, don't we? We rely on Jack Clark. Jack Clark, you know, if he's not performing, if he's not
Andrews
creating
says that he's not
opportunities,
happy.
then you're thinking, where else are we going to create opportunities from? You know, a couple of times when we did get to the byline, the ball was pulled back, but you need midfield players.
Oh, we're at home against Leeds United then.
And we haven't got that.
Well, it was always going to be a difficult place to come with Millwall, like Sunderland, desperate for a result. At the first half, the lack of concentration again just before half-time led to Millwall taking the lead. But the changes in the second half eventually did bring a result in the sense that Clark, taking on Leonard, won the penalty. That the referee
Dayton
being
Fire,
booed off
cheer
here
up,
as he
have a
comes
curry,
off with his
lads.
officials.
Desperate says Rusty Macklin.
Probably a fair result.
I think it is. You know, you look at the last 25
Cheers,
minutes of
Ian,
that
mate.
game,
Thank you for
Sunderland
tuning
had a
in, fella.
right go at- It's an open game, shall we say, end to end.
It was.
If you would have said a point before a ball was kicked, I
Cheers,
think Tony
Rusty.
Mowbray
Thanks,
would have
man.
said yes. I'll take a point now.
Yeah. And the way the game was going at times, it's probably
You
the
know,
case
and
as
again,
well.
you got to say thanks to Patterson, because he's made 2 or 3
Two very good
fantastic
saves from Bradshaw, didn't he?
to keep
that,
us in the game.
Kept them in the game, very much so.
Well, I feel better than what I did at half-time, put it this
afternoon,
way.
The first of our double bill,
Yep.
the second one's at 8 o'clock. Newcastle against Manchester
Well, I'm
United,
happier
the
than
points
what I was at
back
half-time,
to
put it that
Den.
way.
It halts that little run of defeats.
Cheers later, Geordie streaming.
And,
Yeah, let's have a look at
players,
this.
Dack and Patterson, the last 2 to come off. Ballard's just going down to thank the travelling supporters who are heading off to try and get those last trains back to the northeast tonight.
Right, you
But
ready
a
for
point
some
on
socials
their
and
travels,
stuff?
A point at the Den, a penalty from Jack Clark, his 5th penalty of the season, his 10th goal of the season, and here at the Den it's finished Millwall 1, Sunderland 1.
They've obviously...
Total Sport North East.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
Dominic James.
Yeah, sure. Andy O'Kane says, very lucky to get away with a point. Some serious work needed on that training pitch. Yep. Our so-called forwards keeping another clean sheet. I'm 20 games into the season and we haven't had any striker score a single goal. That is just more than unbelievable. And last one from Kyle Hill, undeserving of a point and in no way agree with the commentator saying stop the rot. Looked at effing clueless shambles for large parts of the game. If anybody's happy with that result, you need your heads checking. We are crap. No urgency at all. Actually, not a terrible result away at Millwall. Cheers, guys. Love yous and leave you. We'll see you.